All right. I see KeKe holding it down. Hello, everybody. This is Kendell Lenice, and welcome to Kendell Lenice Live, where we have panel conversations. This is season 2 of Kendell Lenice Live, and I wanted to kick it off with a panel. Y'all know I got a lot of feedback about the panels I did before. Great feedback. You enjoyed the conversations we had organically, and this one will be no different. Well, kind of different because we're talking about cheating, and some of the places we may go may be a touchy nerve to some or a trigger to others, but this is how we grow. This is how we heal. Healthy conversation. I always say honesty helps heal. Those are my 3 H's. And the panel that I have on tonight is like no other because they're not afraid to talk. They're not afraid to give their opinion, and they're not afraid to talk to you live. This is an organic conversation. It is unscripted, and we may just go there. You know, it's an age-old question: who cheats more, women or men? Maybe we'll answer that question. Donald talked about how to cheat, why we cheat, when we cheat. If cheating is necessary, we may get into all of that. But let me welcome my amazing panel, starting to my left. It could be your right, but this is Jamie Watkins. She is a life coach, a happiness coach. Welcome, Jamie.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Hello again to everybody on the panel. I'm excited about this courageous conversation.
Yes, welcome. I'm glad that you're a part of it. KeKe Willis, she is a playwright, and her plays, let me tell you, her plays are amazing. She has a, I guess, co-writing partner. They write amazing, not her partner in life, her co-writing partner. You know, I just, because you got to be clear.
Put that out there. You got to clarify now.
Yes. You got to be clear these days, whatever you're doing, that's your business, but we're not talking about that with KeKe.
Yes.
KeKe, because then they might get into the cheating conversation on that end, so we got to be clear. Right. But she is an amazing playwright and performer. Welcome, KeKe.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I was so excited about the message. It is a very deep topic. So invite, share, tell somebody, come on in the room.
Welcome. Come into the room. Like Tabitha Brown says, come into the room. All right. Donald Dowridge Jr. He is here. Y'all might know him as Frederick Douglass. He is a speaker. He is a coach. And he is a performer with the white hair and the Frederick Douglass. And he does an amazing job with that, going into the school systems, being just a great mentor to children. Welcome, Donald.
It's a pleasure to be here. And no, there will be no Frederick Douglass talking about cheating. I am also, just to throw in as a sidebar, I am a lead singer of a group, and we have a great engagement coming up in November for the Veterans Ball. And I will be emceeing and performing with the group. And we're gonna turn it out, but there'll be no cheating.
No cheating, no cheating.
All right, I have Duke Evans. He is near and dear to my heart. I've known this man, since I was a child. What can I say? He is the host of Sports Talk. He is a father, and he is an all-around good guy, y'all. And he is single. I'm just putting that out there. But welcome, Duke. I am so glad that I was like, who can I get on this panel? And I was like, I'm going to see if Duke is available. But I don't know, do you want to be called Ron or Duke? Because, I call you Duke.
Hey, it's whatever, either or works. It's all good,
And I got a shout out to Richie Rich. He's all that, you already know.
But you already know.
You already know how we
already know. Hey, don't bring the tissues out.
Right. And also his mom, Miss Flory, that is like a second mom to me.
Yes.
She always told me I was her first daughter, and that's
queen of the ship. That's queen of the ship.
Yep. And I was talking to the gals earlier, but she raised 5 boys on her own. So these boys know how to treat a woman, okay?
Oh, absolutely. I have 2 of my own, and I can honestly say that the words that I'm tired from these kids never came out of my mouth. Can't say it.
Right,
Can't
because
say.
your mom had 5 boys, all
Yeah.
with the first initial R.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then I have, y'all know Leroy, Mackenzie, and we do the show more than just a movie. If you watch Kendell Lenice live or go through my YouTube channel, you will see his face. And his saying is, it's your boy, Leroy Mackenzie Jr. He's an authorpreneur, an entrepreneur, and he is also a speaker and has his own thoughts. Sometimes his thoughts you don't agree with, but he's going to tell you and he's going to give it to you straight, no chaser. That's why he's always part of this panel. Because sometimes I'd be like, oh, Leroy, you said that out loud. But he stands by it and I love it. Leroy, welcome.
What's up, good people? This will not be a movie review on cheating, okay, tonight. This is not that, all right, y'all. We about to get real. I know we're gonna get real in here because this panel seems like a great panel that you put together. So I can't wait to get into this conversation. And when you told me about the topic, I was like, ooh, she trying to start some trouble. You know what I'm saying? She trying to start some trouble.
And you know how I do. And you know how I do. Like when I come up with these topics where sometimes people just won't go. Like the panel I had, like I said, with the Black women and men, colorism. I talked about so many different things, and you got to go up and down my channel. But I like to have the conversations that people feel are taboo or under the rug, or we're not going to talk about it. This show is about lifting that rug, and we're going to talk about it. Mm-hmm. So when I first reached out to all of you, and whoever wants to go first, go first. When I reached out to all of you and said, you want to do this show about cheating? Everybody said yes. So tell me why you said yes and why you wanted to be a part of this. And then we're going to get right into it.
Well, I said yes.
Go ahead, my sister.
I said yes because it needs to be talked about. It's happening. So let's get into it. Yeah, it was an easy yes for me, except for the spoiler alert part that I was like, oh, wait a minute. But I liked your answer to that. So that really helped me out.
Yes. Can I share a little? Just a little.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. So she's writing a book and she was going to put her experience about cheating in it.
Ooh.
So she said, right. So she
It's a plug. It's a plug right there.
Right. That's what I said. So she said, I don't know if I want to because of the subject, because I'm writing a book and I don't want to give it away. I'm like, girl, this is the lead-in.
Yep.
You can talk about it and leave
talk about it tonight.
Put that right, and leave just a little bit where they're gonna buy your book and in the rest. You can leave the ... and tell them about it.
Hey, Jamie, they already have 100 ideas. You're gonna give them 100 more, huh?
Yes. So I was like, okay, that works. Well, and just spoiler alert, if you did pre-order and you're watching, it's chapter 3.
And I love it. I love the transparency. KeKe, and I'll say Leroy and Donald, why did you decide to answer the call about this here cheating?
It's here for the tea. Joking. I think it's a very intriguing topic. It's definitely taboo. And more than anything, I would love to hear from a male's perspective on why people be cheating.
Well, Giselle on Real Housewives of Atlanta said my former pastor, Jamal Bryant, was a cheater, pumpkin eater. And she said that on national TV. And that didn't stop him from cheating. So you get called out, and that's kind of your legacy, and you still have the same behavior. Duke, why you answer the call?
Hey, hot topic for everybody. Even the people that are not involved, it's a hot topic because it has drama written all over it. It has, for some, sadness. It's book ready, it's movie ready. You know, it's just it's a hot topic, man. It's a very, very hot topic. Yeah. So I decided, why not? You know, let me get in here. I heard some stories of my own. And share them, you know.
All right, and so and you know, some of the panels indiscretions may come out. We don't know, so that's why you got to keep watching. All right, Leroy. Why are you here?
Well, I said yes, one, because I think it's, as I said before, I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. There's so much, and I can't harp on it enough, there's so much miseducation out here about men and women's relationships and about what we do. And there needs to be that opposite voice of what's out there, because if the only thing that people are hearing is it's okay to do this, or all of the other things, and I'm not going to say any names, and I'm not going to get into the other topics and stuff like that, but all of those other negative, toxic things that people want to talk about when it comes to relationships, when it comes to men and women, there has to be something that's an alternative to it that combats it. And that's what I believe this does, because I know you, and I know you want people to come away from this being better, understanding about, the foundational topic of cheating, and that's why I said yes.
I appreciate you. Donna, why are you here?
Well,
and I'm glad you're here.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, and I thank God that I am here. And I will answer like this, that I have not always been the angel that I am today. As a matter of fact, for each of the panel there, I see y'all are not really looking at me. You're looking at these big wings that are behind me, showing my sainthood. Okay. But back in the days, I'll just be real with it. No, I wasn't perfect. And after the invitation to be here tonight, it's funny because I was listening, I was out biking, and I listen to rap music and whatnot. And I was just listening to the rapper as he was saying, yeah, I know I'm cheating, but I'm bringing home the racks. You know what I mean? And
what song is that? What song is that? Who said that?
Well, you know what? Because it's so close to me, I'll just say that it's my nephew's new CD, and I ain't gonna say what group it is, but he is running up the charts very quick. But the mere fact of it is, it got me to thinking while I was riding after listening to that, and I'm like, are we at that point now in this young society where it don't care? I don't care. You can go do what you want to do. You know what I mean? You can cheat, but just bring me my money.
Mm-hmm.
Bring me the money. I don't care. You go out there and do what you want to do. Just bring my money, And then the brother, he comes back and he's like, well, baby, you're my number one. I love you. I'm out here doing what I do to bring this money in. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking like, okay, so he out there bringing the money in. But look, when you're in that space, if you will, women are all over you, pulling you, and they don't care if you were devoted to somebody.
Now let me stop you right there, because you were talking about the rap song, and I'm thinking about SZA's song Weekend and SOS Band. I don't care about the money, girl. Just be good to me.
Just be good to me.
Just be good to me.
Okay.
Like, I don't care.
Talking about music all the way back. I'm listening to, I think it's Diana Ross. Mm-hmm. Maybe not. I'm going to think of the lyric. And my son was like, well, that's toxic. And I was like, it really is. But I was just like, oh yeah, this is a jam. And she said, respectfully, I say to you, I'm aware.
Oh, where's that Diana Ross?
But no one makes me feel like you do. I was like, that is kind of toxic, huh?
Or as we lay.
Kendell, stop it. Get out of my head. Get out my head. That's exactly where I was going.
Hey, SZA says it too, doesn't she?
That's what I said. Thursday, Friday, week. I can't get ready.
She just wants him on the weekend.
Right. She said you can have him. She runs down the weeks, the days of the week. She said, but I just want him on the weekend. And it's a lot. And people singing to it. And that was even no, that wasn't. Her other song was on Obama's playlist. I was about to start some mess, but her Broken Clocks.
But I brought up that one to say it's not just this generation.
Yeah,
it goes all the way.
Yeah, it goes all the way back. Yeah. But
what about Somebody Else's Guy, Jocelyn Brown? Somebody Else's Guy. That's the jam.
I think.
How many times are you just like?
I think that it has always been going on, but
Right.
I think it's something about back then. It was about being discreet. You know, you didn't want your business in the street. I think
Right.
now it's just like,
It's out there. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. Like,
it's out there.
Yep.
It's out there. They don't care. But I wanted to say, since we're talking about songs that makes a difference in relationships, if you will, I go back to maybe 1987 to the Temptations, "Treat Her Like a Lady."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's my song.
And I will say that had a personal bearing on me in reference to how to be, a gentleman and how to treat the lady, but not only, how to be a gentleman, how to treat the lady, but to be a one woman's, am I saying it right? A one woman's man.
Oh, man.
Like Dave
You see what I'm
Hollister,
saying?
Dave Hollister's lyric, and he cheated all up and down with his wife. And he had the song "One Woman Man," but he stopped for a minute to make the song. He said he thought the song would stop him from cheating, but he cheated on her the night of their wedding. Wow. But go ahead, Donald.
Yeah. And,
and he felt forced to marry her because he wanted to be out in the street. He wanted to be for the streets.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you. I come from a seed who was a cheater. And not only was he a cheater, and I will say, thankfully for the hashtag Me Too movement and women being more alert nowadays, kudos to you all. However, but going back, my dad, my seed, where I come from, he was a cheater, he was an abuser, and, he had numerous women that he was involved with. And, come on now, I came off that tree.
Right.
But, I had to go to school, if you will. And when I say I had to go to school, I had to go to mentors, who helped to, how can I say, refine me, if you will, so that I can take note of that precious woman in my life and not have to go out and, always looking for the next best thing. Yeah. Because in reality, the next best thing, could be the next best trouble.
True. And Duke, you had your hand up when you talked about coming from the seed.
Hey, I'm from that seed too,
What's up, bro? Are we brothers?
Maybe. I'm from that seed, but listen, all in all, I think it's hard being a man out here when it comes to females, only because what I do think is that I think men love women more than women love men. I do think that. I really do believe that. And I think that we're super in love with the female species from like head to toe, and that doesn't mean that women aren't in love with us, but I think we are like on another level when it comes to them. And just look at all the strip clubs around in the across the country, for men. It's sex is out there for us. It's really a rough time and era. It's always been an era for men, when it comes to sex. It has never been like, certain times were better than others. Like back then it was bad. Now it's bad. Now you get yourself to a point where it's not even about your status so much and what kind of level you on. It's like a woman is out here for you. What is it, 8-1 in the world or something like that? It's just the statistics are really, really crazy, man. With
the
that.
options.
So I don't think,
the options y'all have.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's none of it should be done, but it's crazy if it all starts with you. It all starts with you when it comes to going fishing. Why are you doing it? Did somebody did somebody, for every action is a reaction, and we know all about if nothing is happening, when you decide to exclusively see somebody and somebody decides that they want to go on a hiatus with sex. Last time I checked out, You can't be on the hump for a few years and then all of a sudden you want to say, I want to time out.
Did you say on the hump? Did you say on the hump?
On the hump. So look, that might be cool for you to just do, but you forgetting that there's another party involved that's been used to the behavior, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really tough, man. It's tough.
Go ahead, Jamie.
I wanted to
that's a good perspective, dude.
Yes, I wanted to thank you for sharing that and ask if there's any clarification that could be made, and maybe there isn't, maybe you meant exactly what you said, but between, you said men love women more than women love men, but then you used strip joints as an example. So is it that men love maybe sex or pleasure more? Because it seemed like you equated pleasure and sex to women, and women loving a woman.
So I'm gonna say this, and I can say I'm gonna go with me, right? So to me, is nothing more beautiful than a woman. You can have that car, you can have that house. There's nothing more beautiful. And then when she decides to put that thing on from head to toe and smell good, it's like, oh no. So, you know, that I don't necessarily have to have sex with her, but just to know that she's looking how she's looking is a winner, you know? Now, that's for me. And I'm quite sure Donald and Leroy, we can probably agree to that. When something fine comes through, we will turn the head and double take, and some of us might even water at the mouth, you know?
Now, let me say something, because that's a good point. Right, because that's a good point. Thank you for saying women are beautiful. Protect Black women. I got to say it on the show. All right. So, but that you made a good point, Duke, because people think once you get married, then somehow you become blind.
Right.
And that you don't recognize a beautiful woman or a beautiful man because you become married. And I think that's a problem. A lot of people talk about Will Smith. I'm just going to go to Will Smith and Jada Pinkett's relationship. And she often said she didn't want to get married. I understand what she was saying, but people have come at her so hard. But I agree with her. She didn't want to get married. Will Smith asked her, who are you dating? She said, nobody. He said, you're dating
me now.
Right, me now. She was in Maryland where I am. I know where she was. She had just bought a farm. That's the kind of life that she wanted. She's never wanted to be famous. She just wanted to do what she loved, if she made money or not, right? So she wanted a farm, and that was the kind of organic kind of life she wanted. She met Mr. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and he said, you're with me now. So she left. She never spent one night in the farm home that she bought. She went to LA. She said she never wanted to get married, right? But she got married because that's what she thought. And then her mom was like, then she said, okay, I don't want to get married, but then I don't want a wedding. Her mom was like, you're my only child. You got to have a wedding. So then she had a wedding. And so imagine being in a marriage for 20 something years. Now, and this is no diss to Will Smith. This is no diss, but he also said he had an image and a vision for them. It was almost like a business. And this is what it was going to do. We're going to thrive together. We're going to make a business. We're going to have these 2.3 kids. We're going to do this, or 3.2 kids. I'm not saying his son, his oldest son is not. I'm just saying that type of thing. And this is what we're going to have. And we're going to win. And this is what I do. I don't fail. We're going to win. Now, he came off the heels of a divorce with Cherie. She left him because, and he said, I don't lose. So we're not getting a divorce. And she hit him with so you want to stay with somebody who don't want to be with you? And then he said, oh, shoot. And he said that he left with her and went to find Jada, because originally he wanted to be with Jada and met Cherie, and it kind of detoured him. So when they broke up, he said the same day he went to go look for Jada, and now they're in a relationship. So now you're in this relationship trying to figure it out, and you're cheating, or you're having what are we having? Entanglements.
Yes.
We're having entanglements because this wasn't what I wanted, but I'm living this dream for you. So I think in relationships, you have to be clear and precise on what you want. You want to talk about that, KeKe?
Yeah, I agree, because at the end of the day, it seems, and I haven't been married yet, but it seems like
Yes, I love that.
it's not for you, for the other person. You got to think single-minded, not as one person, but as two coming together. So if that's not what you want, you do need to be abundantly clear, because that's not fair to the other person, especially a person of his caliber. You know, people love to attack celebrity marriages and talk about it, like going back to the entanglement thing. So being clear, like, and I feel like going back to the whole topic of cheating, if you know that you're a cheater, you shouldn't get married. Like, what is the purpose?
What if you don't know you're a cheater, but what if you feel something?
Yeah, they do. There's not one cheater that
I think you know.
if they're
People
not
know.
cheating.
You know.
No,
You know, you got.
I gotta bring all perspectives here.
You know you got a
that's not
cheating
perspective.
mentality.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
I disagree.
listen,
What, Leroy, what you say? No,
Cynthia,
go ahead. I'm sorry. I wanted to hear what Leroy, because he was like,
Oh.
nah, what?
There's no one that cheats that says they may not think, they may not have the, well, actually it has to be a thought first. Everyone that cheats is a cheater. It's not a thing where I didn't want to, it just happened.
Oh, I agree with that. I thought, but she said don't go into a marriage if you're going to be a cheater, if you're a cheater, but everybody that goes into a marriage isn't a cheater yet.
Well, they might. Well,
you know what I mean?
Here's my thing, and even when it goes back to Jada that you were talking about, Kendell, the difference between Jada and Will's first wife, his first wife was stronger than Jada. If Jada didn't want to get married, she should have said, "Will, I don't want to get married."
Sir.
But then you have to look back at the age, and not to say that age matters, but then you got to look back at 20.
How old? Wait a minute. No.
Well, I think age does matter.
Wait a minute.
I think age matters.
How old was his first wife?
She was older. She's in her 50s now. Jada just turned 50. So she was a few years, like 4 or 5 years older than Jada.
4 or 5 years? That's not a big difference.
That's a big difference.
When you're 20 and
25 is a difference.
It's totally different.
25 and 30.
It's totally different when you're 19, 20, 21, and you're 26.
No, everybody has their opinion, but a 20-year-old and a 25-year-old knows if they're saying I'm not ready to get married, they know I'm not ready to get married. Jada said, I was not ready to get married. She said that. So she knew.
But sometimes
she was not ready.
Sometimes you do get pushed down the aisle, though. Sometimes you do get pushed down the aisle. And you're thinking that it may be the right decision or choice at that time. You're thinking that. But then when you start learning yourself, I got married for the first time at 20 years old. I got married at 20
I was
years
21.
old. Right. So
and now my daughter's 19.
And you don't even know. You don't even know.
Your brain doesn't stop developing until 25.
You don't know.
Kendell,
when I first got married, I was my mother because I really didn't have my own thoughts.
Kendell, you gave 2 examples of Jada. She said she was not ready to get married. Will told her, let's go get married. She said her mother said, I want a big I want a big wedding. She was doing things for everybody else instead of doing what Jada
But that's what happened. But that's what happens.
That is possible. That's definitely a real thing.
But
that's what happens.
Jada, but that's my point. She was doing things to please other people.
Yeah.
She knew what she wanted, but she was so into trying to please other people that she let everybody else dictate who she was.
Yeah.
She hadn't learned that yet.
But that's what happened. Thank you, Jamie. You
hadn't learned that yet.
Yeah. Yes.
You're not born with that. That takes life experience.
Over time.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So what about when she got 25?
I told you Leroy don't play. I told you Leroy don't play.
He was already in it at that point.
When she got 35,
with kids,
when she got 45,
and eventually she
at
figured it
45,
out.
she said, "We ain't doing this no more.
Want this.
We got an open thing going on."
Exactly.
Bill
We
was
need to
seeing
change
who
this
he
business
wanted
relationship.
because she was coming. Exactly, she was coming in. So they've said that they redefined their marriage, and now they have a lifelong partnership. meaning that they're not going to restrain each other with expectations of what a wife is, what a husband is, and they're free to just be. Now, some may say you're
They
married,
nasty.
that's
They
still
nasty.
cheating.
Thank you, Ron. Thank
They
you.
nasty, man.
But
Thank you.
some might say
Thank you.
that's cheating, but with them,
It is.
they don't feel like that.
They don't
So-
feel like
If they
that.
have an
and-
agreement,
You know,
then it's not cheating.
But he cheated.
That's-
No,
Nobody talks about that.
I can feel like the sky is green, but if the sky is
He does
blue,
that
it's
plan.
blue. You
But
can
you know,
try and cover it up and call it what you want to, but
Hey.
cheating is cheating.
Yeah,
But you know,
no man. I'm gonna just piggyback up on Leroy and Donald. You can have it. No man, and I don't think no woman wants to know that somebody else is smashing what's supposed to be theirs. Like, if you are accepting that, then I think it's a bigger issue. Your significant other, or whatever you want to call it, goes out the door, and they come back in the morning, and they was getting smashed, and you gotta lay down in the same bed with that.
Woo!
But brother.
I don't
Come
think
in.
they.
There's some-
I don't
hey,
think.
there's some
Honestly,
special-
I don't think they get together anymore.
They some
Yeah,
special people.
that man come and smell like Gina Tay. And
No,
you don't
sir.
wear that.
But as Brother Ron was saying earlier, back then everything was
Secret.
conservative,
Yep.
secret, et cetera, et cetera. Now everything is just out there in your
It's out
face.
there.
You didn't
So
know the next door neighbor was your daddy.
yeah. With that said, nobody really cares anymore. And then if you look on, even discussion with y'all talking about Jada and Will, all this public talk about sex. So, and then you got the music, sex, the way that, you know what I mean? So back then, even the songs that you spoke of from earlier, at least now we look back, we know what they were saying. But
Wasn't
9
calling
times
it
out
out.
of 10, when the
Right.
song was out there, we had no idea majority of the time that what they were talking about, because they were throwing code words.
Right,
Now,
right, subtle.
they're just straight at it. You see
It's
what I'm
out
saying?
there.
So when these young kids are listening to that, you see what I'm saying? They think that, okay, well, I can have any partner I want. I can be with whoever I want. You feel me? So now there's no secrecy in it. So I fear that maybe in about 5 years, this discussion that we're having tonight is going to be passé, because 5 years from now, the way things are going, cheating won't be
It's
a
normal.
thing. It'll be normal. It won't be a
It's
thing
normal.
anymore.
It's gonna be
What,
normal. I feel like
it's
polyamorous
already normal.
relationships?
Yeah.
Polyamorous relationships?
The
They just renamed stuff.
the small percentage of couples now that still hold that standard. And on a bigger note, I think when it comes to being in exclusive relationships and marriage, I don't think people know what they even getting themselves into. I have no idea, and because it
should be
takes,
renewed like a license.
yeah, I agree.
Driver's
It's
Take more
if
time.
you look at both parties, I don't believe that they even understand the sacrifice. I don't think that they even get it when it comes to that, because if you go in and that's a foundation for you, and some people they go in and just fly to Vegas one night and say I liked her or I liked her. They base that marriage off of nothing, right?
Mhm.
And you have some people, they do have a foundation where they follow those vows, right? So you tend to try to honor them, right? So you have a sort of a foundation. So I do think that helps for you to try to hold those things in place for you not to do those things out here,
Yeah.
because there's a foundation here.
Yes. No, that's a good point. I have a question for KeKe and Leroy. You wanted to say something, Donald? But
Well,
I have
I
a
was just
question for KeKe and Leroy.
I was just going to say, when we say that cheating is passé, just think about, I got the vision of, you got all these men sitting around at a dinner table, and you got all these kids sitting around, who are children to these men. And then at the head of the table, you got the mother. Anybody get it? Anybody get it? You got all these men sitting at the kitchen table. You got all these kids sitting at the kitchen table, and at the head of the table is the mother. All right. So all these men who have children by this lady, they're all sitting at the table having dinner, looking at each other. You say, wow, I didn't know you were. I didn't know you were. I didn't know you were. So now, you know, the cheating, if you will, is all out in the open.
You're saying different mamas, but all of these kids are connected.
No, I'm saying the baby mama drama. The same mother with all these men produced all these different kids.
Yeah.
Where now it's like the brothers, if you will, they're saying to each other, man, I didn't know you. I didn't know you. I didn't know you. So they all cheated, quote unquote, with this same woman. But at the time, they didn't know it. A couple of years later, they at the dinner table. Now it all comes out the wash. Did that just make sense?
Yeah, I got it.
You know, and that seems to be the episode of what's going on now, because you got all the baby mamas. Am I saying that right? You got all the baby mamas, you know, and then it's like, yo, dude, you know, how many kids you got? Well, I got this woman, I got that one, I got that one, I got that one, you know, and then it's like everything just blown up nowadays, you know, and that's why I said cheating is passe, because everybody doing it now.
Hey, Donald, they nasty.
No, Ron, I refute that. You said nasty and then you laughing about it, but I'm gonna take it one step level. One step, they are N-A-S-T-Y. I mean, dash Y with the quotation marks. How about that?
But it's so funny that you're saying that, Donald, because I was years ago, I was asking, Leroy gonna laugh because I always got a story. But years ago, I was asked to be a part of Beyond What Fix My Life. Already that was like, wow, you want my take? And guess what show they asked me to commentate on? The one where the guy had 33
Oh,
kids.
Yeah. I remember
and so it was baby mamas coming out
Everywhere.
the ceiling, out the woodwork. I don't know if y'all saw that in y'all.
I remember that one.
Yeah, so I got a chance to come. And that was before the virtual world that we live in now. So that was virtually, I did that. It's so funny. I couldn't get it recorded. I was like, I ain't gonna mess this opportunity up. I was up all day. Now it's 2 seconds. You can virtually put it. Well, but Kendall, that reminds me of that. There were so many baby mamas, and there was so much dissension, and so much. It was just so much hard trauma with all of these women and all of the. And of course, he couldn't be the father he needed to be to all of these kids. It was just a breakdown. So then they were fatherless children.
33.
Well, talking about Nick is
34. It might have been 34.
Well, I got a brother here in Tampa. Not to cut you off, Leroy. I got a brother here in Tampa. I went to school with him. All right. And his brother is well respected. Every time I see his brother, you know, I take my hat off to him. And the other brother, believe it or not, he said, man, my brother is 100 years old and he's still producing kids. Homeboy got 36. He lost one, and they was out to a dinner. The majority of his kids are girls. Okay, the majority of his kids are girls. He probably got, out of the whole 35, he probably got 2 boys. No, he don't have 2 boys because he lost one. So now the rest of them are all girls.
And then that creates another issue, which we'll talk about probably on another panel. Fatherless daughters, motherless sons, and what that, maybe I'll have you all back, you know, because I know this one here is going to be a part 2. So
because that's what I'm finding out in my journey is some deep stuff going on out here. It's almost scary, you know?
Yeah, it is. It is. I want to hear from you, Jamie, but I want to ask Leroy and KeKe something. But first, I was thinking about Orange Juice Jones. I saw you walking in the rain, you know, with that hush puppy with the crumb cake. I left you with, you know, all of that. Remember that you dismissed.
Yes.
But then while you were talking, I said, let me look up some more. We got Confessions by Usher, Say Me My Name,
There's so many songs.
by Maya, The Boy Is Mine, It Wasn't Me, you know, I Should Have Cheated, Keisha Cole, In My Bed, Drew Hill, Unfaithful, Rihanna, Go On Girl, Neo, the man that just got convicted, but we mute him in here. All right. If your girl only knew, Aaliyah, me and Mrs. Jones, Jones, they got a thing going on. We got Escape, My Little Secret, which is everybody's jam, and they talking about cheating. Even Carrie Underwood, Before He Cheats. Saving All My Love for You, Whitney Houston. If you listen to that song, and she sings it so pretty, but it's about cheating. She's saving her love for a married man. Dilemma with Nelly. Don't Think I'm Not, Candy. It's Not Right, but It's Okay, Whitney Houston. John Legend, She Don't Have to Know. Next Lifetime, Erykah Badu.
I know one you're missing.
What?
Secret Lovers.
There you go. Atlantic
That's what
Summer.
we are. Trying
was
so
there.
hard to hide the way we feel.
I used to, yeah.
Go ahead and sing.
Then Monica got a song called Sideline Ho. And it's literally, and if you hear the lyrics to that, you know that it's real. Like if you hear that. And Talking in Your Sleep. What about Jasmine Sullivan? Bust the Windows Out Your Car.
Yeah.
And My Song by SWV. You're the one for me. They talking about somebody else's. Listen to the lyrics.
Really?
That's
The song that just came out 2 days ago. The name of it is it going to be yes or no? And if you pull that, if you pull that song up and listen to the lyrics, he ain't talking about, or I ain't gonna say he, they ain't talking about their wife.
See?
The name of the song is it going to be yes or no?
We belong to someone else.
And that's Smokey Robinson.
Can't let it go.
Yeah, that's Smokey Robinson and the Temptations.
Is oh so real.
And we were like this at the concert. So real. Right? Not even talk about. Let me tell y'all something. I want to get to Leroy and KeKe, but I want to tell y'all something. So people are bold when it comes to cheating. This married man, I kid you not, maybe 10 years ago, I was at an event and I was at my vending table. He came up to me, right? And said hi, didn't say anything else. He then went on social media, unbeknownst to me, and he saw me on social media. He befriended me. So he sent me an inbox, right? He slipped in the DMs, sent the inbox. You know what he said so boldly and so plainly? He said, I am married.
Ooh.
He said, but I would love for you. He didn't say side chick. He said, I would love for you to be my girlfriend. And I said, sir, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was offended. I didn't know whether to be flattered or offended. I'm
offended?
Like,
what made you think
I'm joking. I'm joking, but I was offended, right? So I said, absolutely not. And I said, don't ever approach me in that manner. Later, I worked with him on some projects. Go figure. But I said, never say that to me again. And I asked him, I said, first of all, your honesty is like uncanny. And I said, secondly, would any woman go for that? And you know what he told me? He said, I had a girlfriend within my marriage for 9 years. And he told me, he said, anything you want, you can have. He said, anything I can do for you, I will. He was like, I just want you as my girlfriend. That's what he told me. And then, of course, he said this thing what most men say. Oh, well, she don't do this, or my wife this.
Hey, but see, you what happens is, bold. Now you got a woman like this. We got the bold part, but it's the second part to that. That somebody offered that. A lot of women to take that.
Crazy. I would never do that to another woman. I wouldn't do it to myself. That's to me. I have integrity.
Right, integrity.
Yes. Well, see, you gotta understand how we plan out here. Is when you talk about character and integrity and all. We getting thin by the waistline with that.
Build that.
It's men and women.
Rich. So some people about I don't have to go.
The money.
Some women prefer a married man because they don't have all the red tape.
Ooh, well, there's a.
They don't have to worry about bills. They ain't got to worry about the lawn being cut. Yep. They ain't got to worry about nothing. But he's gonna call me. I don't care if it's February 15th. I don't care if it's December 26th. You know, I'm good with that because now I'm your side piece, but then I also got my own side piece.
Yep.
So now when you're not here, I got it. So then it's just a.
So they're looking at it. They're looking at it like they're winning, but all in all, they just nasty.
Telling it so, just
You like
nasty.
that word.
N dash A
Just
dash
nasty.
There you go.
dash
There you go.
T dash Y.
And now they're giving my friend COVID another reason to come on attack.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
So I want to ask Jamie, but I want to really get to KeKe and Leroy. So both of you have not been married yet, right? So is it cheating? And Leroy, you have another dynamic. You have a long distance relationship, right? So I want to ask two parts. If you're not married and you're dating someone, is that still the same type of cheating? And then Leroy, I want to add on to yours. People say, well, like Duke said, well, you know, you have needs and then blah, 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 blah. So is it okay if you're in a long distance relationship to cheat, or do you still treat that as if the person is there? And I'm just asking.
So who's going first?
Leroy, is he frozen or thinking? Okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. I thought I didn't know who you were asking first.
Ladies first. Go ahead, KeKe.
So, okay, that was a lot question. I would say that I want to make sure I'm comprehending the question correctly. Is it cheating if you're dating someone? So I'm a person that believes that if I'm not exclusively in a relationship, then I don't have no obligation to be like, okay, we're together. I'm not going to talk to anyone else. I feel like, how would I know what I like in a man if I don't date different type of men? And I don't feel like you have to tell them. If we're not official, if we're not exclusive, I don't have no type of obligation. And I don't think it's cheating. Now, the moment we say, yeah, we're going to make this official, we're going to exclusively date, then I'm tied to you. You know, I have an obligation to be like, hey, I'm going out with this guy, or, you know, that's not going to be a thing. But if we have no title, no nothing, then it's not cheating to me.
And that's perfect.
I agree.
Totally
I agree.
I recently had a
agree with that,
conversation
Jamie?
with
You agree with that?
I recently had a conversation with a friend. Like, she called me frustrated, saying that a guy that she was dating, like, they haven't put a title or anything on, you know, on their relationship. They're just casually talking here and there. And so she was upset because she found out he was talking to other people. And so I was like, well, did you guys have a conversation about if you're official, if you're exclusive? And she was like, no. And I was like, well, how can you be upset if there was never a title? You can't assume, you know.
Right.
So we should just have a conversation like, hey, what are we doing? Where are we going from here? Are we official? Like, or am I just assuming? So you can't be mad. And I don't view it as cheating.
Okay. Leroy, you looking intense. I know you got something to say.
No, and I think to me, and this is something that I believe that both men and women should do, but I honestly don't believe that it's done, is that in that initial conversation, it needs to be had, hey, what are your dating intentions? Are you dating to just date, or are you dating to get married?
Mhm.
You know, so if you have that understanding that, hey, this is just, it is what it is. Like you were saying, we're dating, but we haven't said that we're going to be with each, you know, with anybody else. Hey, that's not cheating, because you let that other person know, hey, I'm seeing other people, and it's okay for you to see other people.
Right.
I always think of the song by Eric Benet, it's all fun and games until somebody breaks a heart.
Mm-hmm.
When you get into these relationships, somebody's gonna catch feelings. I don't care if you say you're not exclusive, but somebody gonna catch feelings one way or the other. Like you were saying, your friend, she caught feelings because hey, you don't want to think that he was seeing somebody else. Now I bet you and I don't know if your friend was dating other people as well, she might have been thinking, hey, it's all good. But when she found out that he was seeing somebody else, it was like, oh, it just got real. Because they can see, people don't fail to realize that the other person can see other people too.
Right. See, but
Right.
the cheater thinks, yeah, I got me another piece. And they don't know why they out with that one. He's out with that one.
But that's not cheating, though. That's not cheating. If
So-
we established that we can see other people, that's not cheating. It's
So
only
I guess when that other
Communication.
person gets hurt, that's when you start to redefine that. Okay, you know
Right.
what? That kind of hurt me
Right.
that you were out with him or her, and then that's a conversation that needs
And
to
that's
be
when
had.
you
Like,
need to have
okay,
that
so let's
conversation.
So let me ask this though. Let me ask this, and this is the elephant in the room. What is cheating? Because I think
I was
every
just
one
getting
of
ready
us-
to ask Jamie. Oh, that's the question I was getting ready to ask Jamie. How do you
Yes,
define cheating?
because I think that every one of us up here has cheated before. Let me finish. Before somebody says,
Ooh, wait
no,
till
it
I get
wasn't
to this
me.
comment. Wait till I get to this comment. Ooh, go
So-
ahead, dude.
So I think everyone has cheated before by their partner's standards. So what I mean by that is there are certain levels, and that's all part of the partner standards. And so a text from an ex saying, "Hey, how you doing?" could be unacceptable.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that could be looked at as a
That's gonna
form of
get
cheating.
different.
Yep.
You know, social media. Hey, how you doing? It's been a long time since I talked to you. That could be a form of cheating.
Yep.
And-
Perception.
Well, I don't agree with that.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. To each his own. You know,
Yeah.
Right.
It goes
No,
back
but
to
it's
It goes
perception.
back to the
It's
communication.
true.
his own.
really.
And the going to happy hour with some people from work, the opposite sex. You know, why are you there for so many hours? That could be looked at as a form of cheating. And then number one, you know, you intimate with somebody, you know, meeting up, hotel rooms is like, you know, the one, you know, the sledgehammer. So I think it's different levels, but I do think it depends on the other person, you know, to what it actually is, you know.
Yes, I agree.
I agree to
And
different
I agree.
levels
I
and
agree.
individual relationships.
Yes, and it should be discussed among two
Communication.
people. What is cheating to you? What is your perception?
Yeah. And you got to put that out there. Like me, myself, I'm not dealing with a woman who got guy friends. I just don't do that, you know, because I wouldn't have any woman friends while we're exclusively seeing each other. I just, you know.
So no,
Wow.
so see, and that's a deal breaker for you. So no, your woman can't have male friends and you can't have female friends.
Nah. There's no, let me,
And that's,
me,
but I'm
me,
glad we're
me
bringing
and
this
Sheila
up
are
because
going to go out for happy
defines
hour
it.
and hang out. Man, no, I can't.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong. It's
Right.
what you two agree.
Yep,
which is
what
why
you
the
agree on.
communication is
Right,
so important.
exactly,
What you two
exactly.
agree on. I like you
Right.
said, partner standards.
Right.
I didn't
I love
term
that.
it like that, but that is what it is. It's
Yeah,
what, right?
yeah.
The marriage, we hear the marriage bed is not defiled, right? It's whatever you two
but-
say. Get
Right.
as picky as you want. If y'all both agree or don't,
If y'all both want to be nasty, dude. If y'all
be
Yeah.
nasty if you want. Right,
No,
right.
so hey,
If
nasty
y'all are on
is
the
easy.
same page with it,
And nasty is
Yeah,
defined
nasty
too.
is
It's-
easy,
it's
you
a
know,
different
nasty
But you
is
know-
real easy.
You know, if I could say that, going back to, I don't want to mess your name up, Miss Willis, but I will say what
KeKe,
you
call it
said.
KeKe.
Yes.
KeKe. All right, that'll work. So what you were
KeKe,
saying in reference
You love
to,
me.
I kind of have the same KeKe, but I have the same
Appreciate that.
concept.
Thank you.
You bet. I have
Shout out
the
to all
same
the Kikis
concept.
out there. You know, in the black community, we got to lots.
Yeah,
I'm
I
no
have the-
offense to KeKe.
I have the same concept that, you know, if we haven't said, look, I'm committed to you, I'm bringing my all to you, then guess what? My door is wide open. I'm
Yeah,
seeing
you
who I
single.
want to see.
Yep.
But if we
You
making that
letting all the
agreement,
flies and all the bees in your sports.
well, you know, hey, you know,
They all
it ain't.
flying in.
Look. I'm not like BBD. I'm not do me baby, okay? But I will say this, that, you know, if there's no commitment, I do what I want. I see who I want.
Yeah.
You feel me? But if there is a commitment, such as what I got going on now, guess what? It's her and I. I'm not, you know, I will say that, hey, I'm not Stevie Wonder. I'm not Ray Charles. So these things here, they do see, okay? However, I don't touch.
practice self-control.
Well,
That
you
Me
know,
Too
I mean,
movement
come
you
on.
talked
I mean,
about earlier, you bet not.
well, you know, I mean, you know, people say, well, look, you know, because I would throw in the fact that I'm 64 now, you know, so my jets are cool. But the moral of the story is, you know, you got people that are 64 out there, they knocking doors down. You know, so
The
I can't
25-year-olds.
Well, I can't speak for them. I can only speak for this 64-year-old. And I can only speak that how I've been groomed, you know, to be a gentleman, to respect, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You see what I'm saying? So I know now that everything that looked good is not a golden road.
Looks
So
good.
Jamie, well, I saw Leroy shaking his head, but Jamie, I want to ask how you define cheating. And I want to ask the panel, you know, is emotional cheating worse than physical cheating? But go ahead, Leroy.
That's what I was gonna say. Before you get to the physical, to me, and first of all, little history. So when I'm talking about, I was married at 21, 13 years, and now I'm in my second marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So when I refer to the cheating, it was the first marriage.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's
to
right.
Me,
protect your husband.
yes, God, but God, and we made sure we put some standards in place, right? And I've grown and learned, obviously. But to me, by the time you get to the physical act from a woman, maybe I don't know, guys, you could tell me how emotionally attached y'all get, but by the time you get to the physical act, there's something there, right? That was a result of you already talked too much. At least for me, which is why I'm with Duke with the like.
So were you the cheater?
Were you
the cheater, Jamie, or was
I thought I was the only one until I told. But yeah, so I was the cheater, and to me, and I was the pride took me down, I believe, because I was I'll never do that. Like, I'm not getting, like, you're not going to catch me out there. I don't know how, like, there's no such thing as one thing led to another, blah, 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 until I was the person. And one thing led to another. And it was like, oh, that's how that could happen. Right? Like, okay. And obviously at the time, this is 20 years hindsight talking. Mm-hmm. But at the time, at 24, I'm in 2 months pregnant. My husband left the room. And I was like, okay, what this person I built up, why would he do that? And he was like, oh, you know, your pregnancy hormones, you're mean. Okay. He went down to sleep in the guest room. All right. I don't know what that's about, but I have too much pride to be like, I'm hurt. Why do you want to leave? I'm feeling now, I'm like, well, what's going to happen when I get 8 months pregnant and I'm really fat? And like, you know, I don't know what's going on. This is our first child. I'm thinking you'd be excited, but my pride is not letting me say that. But I'm like, okay, like whatever, you know, that's fine. Go downstairs then. So now I'm talking to somebody, a client, friend at my job, like, this is what's going on. Like, why would men like this? Is this like, what's this about? Wrong. Don't go talking to guy friends or whatever they are, right?
Vent to God.
Yeah, right.
Now you see.
Not a good idea. Lesson learned, right? But not a good idea.
You're talking to a lot of people.
Not a good idea. And that led to, I'm thinking at the time, again, called pride, or where the Bible says, don't think more highly of yourself than you ought.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned about cheating. Like, that's just not even in the equation.
So you didn't even think that he had it in him to cheat on you?
I'm sorry?
You thought he didn't even have it in him to cheat on you?
Oh, by the time I wasn't concerned about that. By the time that came out, it was like 5 years after. So we were in a whole different place towards divorce. But at the time when he's out of the bedroom, I'm pregnant, he's downstairs. I don't know at the time what he's doing. I'm just thinking he's really out of the bedroom because he doesn't like how I'm acting. So that's in the book too, right? It didn't come out why till like 5 years later when I told him about the affair in a second marriage counseling thing.
How long did your affair last?
It was one time. It was slept with him. Like it was
okay.
But the affair, that's what I want to circle back to. That was one act, physical act, but the relationship is really what it was.
Gotcha.
I just wasn't calling it that. It's like, oh, you know, it's just this guy. We watch TV together, you know, we're on the phone watching TV together or talking about how he's not coming upstairs, but we're not crossing any lines like that. But you're building relationship. Like those texts, when you're texting, when you're in people's DMs, just talking, and you're justifying like, well, I'm not touching, right? It's not, I'm not, you're building, that's what a relationship is. That's why prayer is important, right? Relationship is communication and talking.
Yeah.
You're building relationship. To me, that's where the affair starts.
Yeah.
And where God says that's it's already like our own temptations. We're drawn in by our own temptations and desires.
Yeah.
I should have been voicing and communicating that I'm lonely, I'm feeling rejected. I'm not saying that, but obviously it's written all over, right? It's written all over me. And that's where I get eye gates, ear gates. Women are really, somebody's in your ear.
We're receivers.
Yes. Somebody's in your ear saying, oh, I would never do that.
Especially if you're not getting it from your
I would never do that.
woman.
Like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine.
And I always say different doesn't mean better. But a lot of times we think different means better. Oh, they're totally different from him. They're totally different from her. And then you get caught up in the okie doke in the whirlwind when they're just different.
Yes,
but
and I think that goes back to dating different type of people.
So let me read this comment. Go ahead, KeKe, and I'm gonna read this comment. It's gonna link in it. Jamal Kelly left a comment. Jamal, I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna get to it.
I think that all of that goes back to dating different type of people, so you'll know what you like. Do you like a white collar guy, blue collar guy? So you don't know. And I'm not saying, I'm sure people who got married young are still together. I don't knock that. I don't knock being with one man. My mom was with my dad for, I want to say 38 years until he passed. One man. So
my parents were 42 years. She got married at 16. That's an expectation I had in my head. I was dating my high school, my ex since 15. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You don't know what you want.
Unfortunately, I don't think we live in those times anymore. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think those days are probably over. So going back to dating multiple people of different personalities, you don't know what you like until you experience different types of men, or, however, for a male with different types of women. And then you can, I'm not saying play somebody, but being honest that, hey, we're just dating, no title, and I'm talking to other people. And you don't even have to tell them that, because that's your business,
Right.
level. But I feel like I don't get married until I experience different types of men to pick what I like. So I don't.
And to learn yourself, right? I feel like you learn more about yourself.
Leroy, I want to ask you a question. There's something that Duke said. I was looking at your face the whole time, and then KeKe said, and it all goes back to that. But go ahead, Donald, and then Leroy.
No, I was just going to say, listening to Jamie and KeKe, that, back in the days, when men were more prevalent in the home, quite naturally, what they would tell the son is like, hey, look, you don't have to go out there and you don't have to get married right away. Go out there and sow your oats. You know what
Prince
I mean?
Prince of King.
Yeah, until you find the one that is right for me. But don't go out there and get hitched to the one that's going to bring you sorrow and then going to cause you to go out there and cheat and do what you're not supposed to do.
And women are encouraged the opposite.
Yeah,
to get married.
Right.
That was the days, and that was the time. So those days, like KeKe said, it doesn't happen like that anymore. It's almost like it's a free for all out there now. Everybody for everybody.
So I want to get absolutely, and well said, everybody has great perspectives. And this is why I wanted to have this panel, all different ages, to Donald being the oldest, KeKe being the youngest, and us and us falling in different levels in our 40s and 50s. And different experiences. So we're definitely going to do a part 2 to this. But I wanted to ask Leroy, because he almost jumped out of his skin, Duke, when you were talking and KeKe was talking about if a man and a woman can be friends. And we've talked about this on another show before. If men and women can really just be friends, or are they plotting when their man or woman stops acting a certain way, or starts acting a certain way, they're laying back in the cut. That's what I've heard from some men, but Leroy has a different perspective. So when Duke was talking about his woman can't have male friends and he doesn't have any women friends, what's your take? And then I want to get to Jamal's comment, because that's It's about to be some fire. Jamal, that's a fire question.
I'm scared.
It's about to be some fire. Be scared because it's deep. Go ahead, Jamal. Leroy.
Well, I know why Kendell asked me that question specifically, because she and I know. My best friend is a female. She and I have been friends since college. This is a woman that has had my back since college. It's 2:00 in the morning. I'm stuck on the road. She's the first person I'm calling. Come get me. Can you come get me? And
Now, would you do that now? Would you do that now if you had the wife?
Absolutely.
She would be still the first person?
Well, my wife would be the first person, but I would not hesitate to call, and her name is Sandra. I would not hesitate to call her because we've had that, because I've been on the side of the road 2:00 in the morning, and I was like, look, my car broke down, I'm stuck. She does not hesitate. I'm on my way.
That's her husband. So her husband clearly is she married?
No, well, that even gets more complicated because she's in a common law marriage, but that's a whole nother story.
But her significant other has that same understanding, but it's right. I'm assuming she can get out the bed at 2 in the morning and come get you.
I've hung out with them. He knows me. He knows me.
Yeah, I have friends of the opposite sex like that, and likewise with my husband now. But I said no new friends.
What did you call it? A partner agreement? What did you say? A partner what?
I said a common law.
Common law.
No, Duke said it's a partner agreement.
Oh, partner standards. You said
partner
right?
Standards.
Oh yeah. Partner standard. Yeah, if you know, myself, I'm not going to be exclusively with, a woman and then have, somebody that I can call up and be like, hey, what's going on? Let's go do this.
Yeah. Right. Now, don't get it twisted. Yeah. Now, the dynamics of our friendship and everything like that, it's we can't just off the top just go rolling do those kind of things, because I'm respectful, she's respectful, and everything like that of the relationship. That's how we roll, because we have those boundaries that we want, that we won't cross and everything like that.
Yeah, there has to be some college stuff going on right there. Up till now.
No, and see, that's the thing. We became friends. Here's the funny thing. She and I met. It was our second semester. My roommate was a friend of hers at the time. We didn't know each other that well, but going into our senior year in college, we stayed in the same house, because there was a couple, a husband and wife, that rented out a house. It was like 10 rooms in the house, but they rented out these rooms to college students. We met there. We became friends there, and have been friends.
Did you ever think about, oh, she's cute, maybe the possibility?
No, we actually thought about it, but then we were like, nah, we
see, and that's the problem. And that's where the problem lies.
You know what the $1 million question is? I want to ask Leroy. Did you hit it?
Dude, no, and that was the thing. We respected each other and we understood.
That's probably why you can still be friends,
right?
Because we've always known. It was just she was just somebody that I was cool with. Like I said, and I was somebody that she was cool with. So
but it was a mutual attraction that didn't go anywhere, and landed both of you in the friend zone.
Yeah, because we were cool. We understood that we were great just being friends. There wasn't going to be anything more. It was like, look, we thought about it, but it was like, no, it's not.
But that goes back to what I've heard a lot of men say this. Like, yeah, that's your friend, but if you give him an opportunity, he's gonna be more than a friend. I've heard men say that.
Yeah, but I mean, folks can say that all the time.
Women too, because some women are waiting. But some women do.
Well,
I'm sure women were waiting to see if your relationship worked out in the wings.
But see, here's the thing about that. Why you even have to entertain that thought? Why you even making the offer? He's just sitting around. Well, that's his. If he's sitting around trying to wait for a woman to give him an offer, that's on him. And he's not being real about it. Or while he's not being he's being superficial about being a friend. If he could jump at any opportunity to be able to sleep with that woman. Same thing on the woman's side. If she were the same way, you have to friendships, and this is the thing that she and I had. We respect each other. So it would never be a thing where she would make the offer or I would make the offer. It's like,
so what about what Jamie said? She said no new friends. So if you
I was drawing the line with new
now
yeah,
you're
new friends. That's the problem.
How'd you meet? What y'all talking about and why?
Right. What you mean? Yeah,
and how did y'all
that's a
exchange
problem.
numbers?
Well,
Right,
That's
like
the
how did
problem.
the conversation go?
I will say that back in my days when I was y'all age, there was no off limits. All right. I mean, if I saw you and you were worthy, you know what I mean? I strike up the conversation. That conversation was going somewhere. So I'm just being real with you. You
That's
know what
real.
I mean? And now
I've talked to a couple of Donalds.
Yeah, now
Like, but are you
it's
happy?
like, now,
you're in a relationship, but can I get your number?
yeah,
Right,
so
like, it's
now-
like, oh no, I'm sorry.
And
I'm
that's
married.
a man
But are you
conversation.
happy?
Like, but are you happy?
See,
That
Right.
Jamie.
but
you
see,
know-
here's the thing.
And if you
Okay,
ain't, you
I'm
be
sorry.
like, not really. Help me.
But it's to me, it's about yourself, and it's about being having self-control. Because I know the other day I'm on Clubhouse, had a
And then I'm gonna circle back to you, Donald, because I want you to get your full thought out. But go ahead, Leroy.
I had a great conversation in one of the rooms. Young lady, and we got to talk because we were talking about relationships and talking about things. And she's like, "Are you seeing anybody?" She was like, and I was like, "Yes." I'm engaged. And she's like, "Well," do you have any friends that you could introduce me to and everything like that? But that conversation could have easily gone elsewhere.
Can I say why? I don't want to tell your business. Can I say they're long distance, like overseas long distance, Leroy and his fiance. So at any point, right, do you say, well, she's all the way over there?
For me, no. There might be other people that might say something, but for me, no. My thing is when it comes to cheating, and I know you saw me making the face.
She's overseas in the motherland. She ain't overseas in Europe. Just so y'all know.
We can't have people giving their own definition of something, because then you have 50 million definitions of what cheating is. You have different definitions of what this is. That becomes, my own interpretation of it. And then that can be easily skewed.
Yeah.
The definition of cheating is seeing someone outside of your relationship, period. And someone who is cheating, this is how I look at it. I don't do anything outside of you that I can't do in front of you. If I can't do it with you standing right next to me, then I should not be doing it when you're not standing there and next to me.
So Leroy, your partner is where now?
She's actually in Nigeria.
Oh, I'm gonna give you a hug right now, man. Let me give you a virtual hug. Give this virtual hug, Leroy.
So the definition,
you are.
Right. So the definition of cheating is act dishonestly or unfairly in order to gain advantage, especially in the game, or that's a game. But so in a game, we know what cheating is. But to break a promise made to someone, such as one's wife or husband, by having sex with someone, he cheated. So it's interesting. They say sex.
Right.
Yeah,
that's the definition. And that's Merriam-Webster. Says cheating.
Which is why I'm saying you can leave it up to your relationship, because I think it happens before the act.
Yeah.
And
it's emotional, and there are degrees
it
of
happens up here.
And that's
Just
worse. When you get in somebody's head, in their heart, that's worse than the physical.
And
I got text messages.
So this one says to be emotionally or physically unfaithful. There are degrees of cheating, from sexual betrayal of a partner or spouse to affairs of the heart, in which a member of a relationship has a secret lovers, emotionally meaningful relationship outside his or her primary relationship. That's the definition. What were you going to say, Donald? And then I got to read Jamal. I did not forget, because this about to shake the screen.
No, I was just going to say that, earlier I said what I did in the past, and now, you know, I'm matured, and I thank God that, to be honest, I thank God that the young lady that I'm with now, that, you know, she would want somebody like me, knowing what my past was. So, you know, I honor, I cherish. As a matter of fact, I'm looking over here because it's time tomorrow. I need to go buy some new flowers for her, you know, and just
Go ahead, Frederick Douglass. We see you.
Matter of fact.
And look at that skin. Look at that 64-year-old skin.
Hey, all right.
That's her. You know what I mean?
See you.
No, she's standing like, I wish it would.
Confident. Right, exactly.
Hey, I think Donald's up here lying about his age. That's what I think.
Right. Let me see that picture.
And his girl.
Hey, let
What
me
you
come
say,
real
dude?
with it, homie. You know what?
Okay,
I dyed my
Donald's lying about he's really 35.
That's a wig.
He dyed his hair gray.
There it is. That's it. I dyed all this gray. That's it.
And
You know what I mean? Because look, I got to get up out of here because I got to go check out them girls on that counter. You see what I'm saying?
Love it.
Now you're being N-A-S.
Hey, wait a minute, hold up. Since
Y'all know
y'all
the
done
rest.
started, look. I gotta go make it rain a little bit. You see what
Oh,
I'm saying?
wait.
I'm not, they want to see you coming because I saw some 20. Those ain't ones.
I see some 20 too.
Hey, mind your
That's
business.
thunderstorm.
Just
That's
saying.
thunderstorm. That ain't rain.
Hey, Ron, I'm gonna take your word. Y'all girls stop being nasty now.
Oh, are y'all ready for Jamal? He left a few comments, but
Oh,
this
boy.
one, you remember when on Martin, when they had something sour and they were like, remember when they did that? This is gonna make
Yes.
you like, all right. So he said, "What up, dude?" I
Yo,
don't know his voice, but that's how
And his
I
voice.
imagine it.
And his voice.
Right. And his voice, right. So Jamal says broken women have a man for each broken piece.
I thought you said groping. I was like, groping
Oh,
women.
broken.
Okay.
And then he says, social media has allowed women to do much emotional cheating and men physically cheating. And then he says, he said, get your passport and leave these lovely ladies to themselves. He said, I guess he's talking about you, Leroy. Go get your passport. And he said, is learning yourself when your body count is about 20, 30, 50, or 100. That is why Black women and women in the West are losing. So I'm not sure what that one meant, but let's talk about the broken pieces. So I don't agree that broken women have a man for each broken piece, but I do understand the fatherless child, the fatherless daughter, or the motherless son. Those are broken pieces, and that does go into play, you know, when you're choosing a mate, or when a mate is choosing you, or when the wrong one comes and you're used to seeing wrong, or you're used to seeing a non-existent male present, then you're going to choose someone who you think is just like your father or nothing like your father.
I agree with that. Partly when he says the broken women,
because some men,
when you're broken,
daddyless daughters. I've heard men say that. I don't want her to have a strong role model like that.
I've heard women say that.
Dangerous.
So those broken pieces that I think he's talking about, I don't think necessarily that if she has, you know, if you break it down, that's in the therapist language, and a therapist finds out that there are 5 things that's missing or whatever, I don't think that there are 5 men for those 5 things that could be broken with her. However, I do think it leads her to keep on chasing and leading her to a whole bunch of heartbreak emotionally. I do think that.
Yeah, I've seen it too much to not agree with
it's like you're on a search and you don't know what you're searching for. And any guy that says something to you sounds good. Next thing you know, you're getting your back broke open, you know?
Yeah, it's true, because I had
over and over.
It's true. I had one girlfriend and she was like, girl, he washed my car. And I said, don't give him none either. He's supposed to wash your car. Like, but it's so like simple stuff. One was like, oh my God, he took me to this museum and he took me out to eat. And they were ready. She was ready to have sex with him because he had had so many horrible men in her past that looked like a good guy.
Right.
And that was like basic level.
Broken women are super easy to have sex with. And if they don't get that fixed, if they don't get it fixed, it continues all their life.
No, I ain't trying to put me out there like that.
Love
but
in all
again,
the
when I
wrong
was
places.
your age and younger, you know what, Brother Ron, you just said something because, woo.
Would you look for women that didn't have fathers in their life?
I've heard men actually say
Would I look for them in that? No, I wasn't specifically looking for them if they didn't have. No. If anything, I would hope that they had, strong background, strong family ties and what have you, so they can handle themselves. I mean, in recent discussions, I've talked about young women and even women my age, coming out of relationships, and this may not have anything to do with cheating, but coming out of relationship and bringing all that weight with them, you see what I'm saying? And them trying to get into a new relationship, but it don't work because now they're still concentrating on what the brother did previously, instead of trying to say, you know what, it happened, let me move forward. Or, like they say, hey, take a year off. Be by yourself, learn yourself, and then get back in there. So at least you done got over the past, and now you can move on with the future.
You can't hurry up, Erica Badu.
Hey, you got some of them. You got some of them out here.
You don't treat the trauma, you repeat the trauma.
And what about the trauma bonds that people have?
Well,
that can take them back out too. When you talk about cheating, that can take them back out to cheating simply because they bring in that weight in and they're not getting what they expect, or that brother's not treating them like trash, like they were treated previously by those beforehand. Now she begins to cheat on this brother because, I mean, this is a good dude, but she's cheating on him because of the fact that he's not treating her like trash, like all the others that she have been treated like trash. Nasty.
So the bottom, what happens though, what happens is, and this is,
I'm sorry. Let me just say, for anybody who is in that situation, I just want to blanket this with, we're laughing and saying nasty, but it's hurt, it's trauma that they have experienced, and it's healing really that has to take place.
And I'm glad you said that. And I was going to say that because until you know better, you can't do better. And y'all know that I'm on this journey of healing and helping everyone heal. That's like my mission in life, because there's so much trauma plaguing, especially our community and our men and women, and so many feelings and things are stuffed down, and people are not addressing the issues. They might be putting lipstick on. They might be doing their hair a different way. They might have 5 pair of shoes or 95 pair of shoes. They might have a woman and then another woman and then another woman. And that's not even what they want. But and look at how many of our people, and I have to say it, are having drug overdoses because they're hiding the pain and trying to cover the pain, whether it's a sex addict, a drug addiction, or what have you, because they're trying to hide and cover up the pain. And that's what we have to get to, because a lot of these behaviors are repeated behaviors, or, I don't even care about myself. I don't care. I don't care about my feelings. I don't care about myself. I'm going to get them before they get me. That's what they do. I'm going to do it too. And man, I don't trust these hoes out there. I don't trust these women because that's a place of hurt. That's because a man got hurt by a woman and now he's saying F it. And the woman is sleeping with everybody. Mode. Exactly. And that's what we have to try to address. Do we have nasty people that just want to sleep with everybody? Absolutely.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
Well,
I just want to take down the other side of that.
It's not a matter of making fun of or bringing light on, but Kendall, you just said it. There are those type of people out there. You feel me? That just don't care about what you're going through, your pain, your hurt. They use that as a vantage point to them. All right. Now, please listen. All right. I mean, I was a perfect perpetrator. I'm going on record to say it. You feel me? And I knew in some cases when she was hurting, that was my my time to shoot my
perfect
arrow.
The
perpetrator.
shark
Go in
smelling
there and
blood
do-
in the
yeah.
water, huh?
And do what I do. And after I do what I do, go on about my business. You feel me? You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, I understand we up into this Me Too movement. I mean, send your people after me. All right. I'll go get my lawyer and I'll be like R. Kelly. The only thing different is I'm gonna get away
Don't
free.
mention
You
him.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But-
He's
no. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So now I understand that, you know what I mean? That we all are broken and we all have pain.
Men
we all
and
have
women.
Right. And
men
empty
and women.
voids.
And the moral of the story is, like you said, Kendall, nowadays we got a lot of people
You
who
know
are
my name
hiding.
is Kendell.
Kendall, I'm sorry. We have a lot of people that are hiding behind shoes, makeup,
Yep.
cars,
Yep.
money, whatever.
Materialistic.
Because they hiding their hurt.
Yeah.
And they are too afraid to come out and say, hey, I'm broken.
Yeah.
I'm hurt. I
Yeah.
need some help.
They don't have the language. And you have to name your, and I'm gonna start doing my coaching, but you have to name your feeling. And it's important to name your feeling. Are you sad? Because most people aren't angry.
Right.
That's a
That
secondary
goes back to
emotion.
my story, right? I wasn't saying I feel rejected. I wasn't saying I feel hurt.
Yeah.
I was calling it
Because you
something else.
feel the secondary emotion. That's anger, that's rage, that's frustration. But most of the time that's covered up from
But
hurt,
you're feeding
pain.
the real feeling though.
Yeah.
Right.
Feeding
Yeah.
the
Right.
hurt, the rejection, the attention.
Yeah. And also looking for love. Like some
Yes,
people see
yes,
that, you know,
yes.
if they're not getting love the way that they want to, because people only have the capacity they have, right?
Yes.
So you can be
Yes.
with somebody, and if they cannot give you what they don't have, then they're going to love you based off of their capacity.
What all they
So
can
now
get.
that's
right.
not filling you. So now you're going to find it somewhere else. And then
Yeah.
now that person doesn't have the capacity to love you for like you need to be loved. So then you go to the next person. When all along it has to start here.
Mhm.
Yes.
Right.
And you're going to
Yeah,
find
you
what
passed
you
the buck.
need right here.
Yeah, you
Art
pass the
has
buck.
to-
So, you know,
yeah.
you what happens, and to, you know, and through my knowledge, you know, you hear things and it's like, you know, this one particular situation, and it's what you find out over time. It's like, okay, you've never been single, right? You've never been single all your life. Every time somebody has known you, you were in a relationship with a different person.
Starting at
So-
12. How about that?
Yeah,
Starting like at
yeah,
12
yeah.
or something crazy.
It's every year is new relationship. So now this is probably when you were 15, 16. Now you're in your 40s. It's like you already know about this behavior already. Marriage, you know how to get out of that because you've been this person that's been in these relationships so long, your life, you don't even, it's like, oh, it's time for a new situation. Let me go over here. Because that's all you really know. You don't know anything else. And yeah, and then we talk about, and you said you're gonna probably speak about this on another segment, is, you know, you know how we all were young and we played out in the yards. We played out in the yard and there was a rock there and it looked perfectly fine where it was. But then you lift that rock up and all these bugs and ants start running up out of there and all. This people out here like this with all this stuff that's happening right there.
Yep.
That's what it is with people now. And
that can of worms.
it's that. And when we pull up that rock, we can start looking into the history of these people with relationships with their parents, whether that's little girls,
family of origin,
little girls or dads. You know, dads, moms been married 4 times. It's your turn now. You know, then here come the kids. You just keep breeding dysfunction. That's all what's going on out here.
Yes. And I always say the legacy that we need to leave our children. A lot of times you think about when you say you want to leave a legacy. Most people say, I want to leave them set up with a business. I want to leave them with wealth or a house. What about the legacy of therapy? What about the legacy to say, I'm not okay? What about the legacy of healing and growth? People don't want to leave that legacy. People are leaving, I want to make sure they have some money and they're set up. But then you're leaving these broken children because the parent was broken and nobody said, okay, the buck stops here. Let's get some healing and let's get some growth. And then some of the same situations that we're getting into, the parents got into, the grandparents got into. It's a legacy of all of this hurt and trauma.
These cycles have to be broken.
I feel like it's a choice.
You gotta break these cycles, man. I feel
like it's a choice, though.
It's a choice, and we got to break the cycle. And I think as we move forward, more people are becoming awoke. Just like I forget your girl, the gymnast who testified, or better yet, when she was at the Olympics and she said, "Look, I'm not feeling this.
Naomi.
I'm having issues up here." I think with that, more people, the mental breakdown. I think more people are starting to, feel that and feel that it's safe, that I can come out openly and talk about it. And I think that with them talking about it, I think some of the curses that have been placed upon us as Black people, it will begin to, if not be solved, it will begin to be spoken on, looked on, and I'm just going to say this, and
you have to lift the rug up.
It's almost like when you cut yourself and you put a Band-Aid on it. So right now we're going to go into the Band-Aid stage, and hopefully we'll get past that Band-Aid stage where we can get deep into it.
But we're putting Band-Aids on bullet wounds.
Yeah.
Well, we're putting Band-Aids on wounds.
Gaping wounds, bleeding.
Come on. And then when things happen in your life, it's almost like picking a scab. The same thing happens and it never heals because you're picking that same scab.
Yeah.
But KeKe, you wanted to say something, and Leroy, I wanted to ask you about if men cheat more than women or women cheat more than men. But KeKe, I wanted you to say, and then we're going to wind down. We're definitely, if you're up to do a part 2, or we can do something different, then we'll do that, because I want to have the same panel back maybe next week. But go ahead, KeKe.
Yeah, I feel like it's a choice. Like you choose, everybody has the same opportunity. Like we're all allotted the same opportunity, and we have to choose to be different. You don't have to be like your mother. You don't have to be like your father. Life is all about choices. So if you don't want to have several different marriages, choose not to. And I'm going back to getting help or inner healing. I remember it was a time where therapy was taboo, or you never really heard of it. Therapist, what? Like people assume that you were bipolar, with no disrespect to that, or mentally ill, but you just maybe need somebody to talk to that's unbiased.
Yep.
Now we live in a time where you hear about therapists, people aren't ashamed anymore. And of course we need that to be pushed, but people need inner healing and to talk things out. And I feel like you should talk to someone that don't know you, don't know anyone you know, so you'll have like a honest opinion.
Yeah.
A lot of this goes to making a choice. Like just your father was an alcoholic or your mother was an alcoholic, don't mean that for you.
Well, Richie Rich said most of the wounds are self-inflicted. Now that's real. That's real, because sometimes you put yourself in these situations and you, like you said, KeKe, you know the difference between right and wrong, and you know the choices, or you think something different, and then sometimes you done shot your own pinky toe off, Leroy.
Pretty much.
You done shot yourself in the pinky toe.
Hey, just to piggyback up on what KeKe was saying, we do all have choices, but what we can't forget is that manipulation and just the empowerment over top of the younger person that comes after you, sometimes you can't do anything about that. It's what's taught. It's what's taught that's the wrong thing. All the wrong things might look like they're right in a house.
Because you're almost on autopilot too. Because if you're used to being this way and this is what you saw, you don't think it's self-inflicted, because this is a pattern.
Exactly. And you end up following the same path, because guess what? That person who was supposed to set these examples for you, whenever you get in some type of rut, and you respect them because you were raised under them.
Yeah.
They're going to tell you exactly what they're going to do.
Woo.
And that's going to be the same exact thing that they did. Oh, you know, mother or father, doesn't matter. Oh, son, leave her, get a divorce from her, go get another one. You know, daughter,
There's
I
more
had
fishes
4
in the
marriages,
sea.
go get another one, you know?
It's
So
true because
yeah.
their hurt and pain that they haven't healed, they're
Exactly.
placing it on
Right.
you.
Yeah.
And they
Exactly.
don't want you. And sometimes you have the parents and the
Out of love,
grandparents who are
but-
jealous. If they see a
Yep.
marriage working,
True,
and they're
true. They
not
want to break that
used to
up.
it,
Yeah,
then they're-
because they didn't have it.
Go ahead,
Yep.
KeKe, say it.
That's true. That's true. They want to bring division because it didn't work out for them.
Yep.
Their
Well,
dreams.
you don't need him. You don't need just one man. You need a man for this. You need a man
Yep.
for that. Don't give your whole
That's it.
heart to a man because they ain't gonna do nothing but break your heart. Then you
Or
have
tell you-
men.
Or tell you to marry the man that you don't want. Go ahead, marry him, girl.
I
You
know a
you don't
woman.
want him.
I know a woman. Her mother told her, "You don't have to love him. You can grow to
Damn.
love him, but marry that man."
Or
And then we go
you,
back to Jada.
or you become elderly, and you're living by yourself, and now you're talking about the men that you had, and neither one of them wasn't, you know what, all right? But now you're stuck in the runt, and now you're dying by yourself.
Alone.
Woo! All right, Leroy, you quiet over there in that square. I feel like we're watching what's the Hollywood Squares. Come on.
Leroy about to go.
No,
Leroy
right.
about to catch that. He about to catch that flight to Africa.
No,
Leroy,
Look at
come
this
on
flight.
in, man. Come on in, Leroy.
In the room.
I mean, I just to piggyback off of what you all, and then I'll go into what I pulled up.
Because
Right.
he been over there writing and plotting. I see you.
But it's not about what we leave for our children. It's what we leave in them. Is what I've been taught. You know, we can leave them the money, we can leave them the cars, the houses, and all of those things. But at the end of the day, what's important is what you leave in them, and what you leave in them are the example that you set for them, the example that you give to them, in what you tell them. I can tell you as a parent not to do this, not to do that. But if I'm out there doing this and doing that, what kind of example am I setting for you as my child and as the next generation? And I think that's what we're missing as to what I call us the now generation. With that, those of us to me that are in our 60s, 50s, 40s, we're the now generation. We're the ones that are in corporate America, that is running corporate America. We're the ones that are entrepreneurs, having our businesses. And we're in that, getting into the early stages of leaving our legacies and saying, what does our legacy look like? What do we want? What are we pouring into that next generation? And I've always said it's every generation's responsibility to leave it better for the next generation.
Next generation.
And and I heard this said, and I was like, man, that's a hard pill to swallow. We're the only generation that is not leaving it better for the next generation.
Rich said, help the children establish a moral compass.
Yeah, and that's what we need to do.
He's talking to you.
Yeah, and that's where we've dropped the ball, to be honest with you. You know, we have, as this generation, we've dropped the ball in preparing the next generation for when they get to be us. Can you imagine when that next generation gets to where we are right now?
Mhm.
And what that's going to
You have some generations, this generation, you hear people say, I've never been to a wedding. I don't even know nobody married. I don't even know nobody married who lasts.
It all started in like 1990 when it became
That's my year.
the me generation. The 1990s, it became the me generation,
but see,
and now it's the I generation.
But Donald, here's the thing. And me and my buddy, we had this conversation the other day, and I was like, dude, I said, whose kids are those? That generation that you just named, whose children are they?
I think it's a combination of just evolution, you know, because you can't tell me that these damn computers and technology doesn't have something to do with that.
Yeah, they raising the kids.
It-
Technology
yeah.
is raising the
You know,
children.
it has a whole lot to do. These kids are, let's put it this way. Yes.
But Ron, here's the question. Who's allowing those kids to do that?
There's
So-
so-called
The
parents.
parents, because the parents are
pushing them
some of
to
the
do
parents
that?
are thoughting on social media.
Right.
They
But they
don't
don't want
social
nothing to do with the
How many
kids.
times
Now-
have you seen a parent like this in the mirror, right?
Yep.
Taking a picture and their little baby's behind them in a diaper. I know y'all seen it on social media. They got them all the time.
Or they
and
doing the
what-
booty shot.
Look, let me tell you something. My daughter, Aaliyah, showed me this video of the little boy said, "Ma, you going to the what he said you going to the, did he say you going to the strip club today? Are you going to shake that thing?" He said something like that, saying that you tricking? Ma, you tricking tonight? It was a little boy, like a toddler. Are you tricking at the strip club tonight? She showed me the video and she was like, "Boy, be quiet." And he knew that. And he looked like he was 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah,
Maybe 4.
it's different.
I'm gonna just say this, like, you know, growing up, you know, we didn't have all this technology.
We had a Atari.
We
and
had Atari.
television wasn't like it was, and
Yeah.
our access, my access to sex was finding my uncle's nasty book.
Mm-hmm.
That was
I'm
it.
not gonna ask you what uncle.
Oh, hey, I gotta take some stuff to the grave.
Right.
You know?
No, it's true. I know, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because you look.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you know, that's just. But now, I mean,
It's true.
with computers, every kid has a computer now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
And
The
they have a
access
phone.
is crazy.
They're allowed to research everything.
But the desire to have sex wasn't even, I
Yes.
know, I can say for me, the desire to see it and everything be so sexualized. Like I was
Yes.
reading Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, and she was talking
Right,
about
my
her breast. Like
my
that's, you know what I mean? That's as though, but now it's like, it's people, kids are yearning to drink because every show you put on, somebody
it
got a
opened
drink.
up a world of
Desensitized.
exploration.
Here's
Exploration.
the
That's what it is.
It's true.
thing.
You're right.
Over-
Jessica.
And
Absolutely
then
right.
Kendell, I'm gonna give you the statistic that, or the thing that I pulled up. Here's the thing, and I think Will Smith said this. He said the things that are going on, it's nothing new.
Right.
We just have more access to what it
Mhm,
is.
it's
Like we
true.
were talking about what went on back in the day. We just have more access to it, to
Yeah.
see it more readily now than we did. Like Ron was just talking about, we didn't have access to a lot of stuff. So you only had limited access, not put it like that, to the magazines, to the videos and all of those things. We had limited access, but because of technology has brought us into this world that,
Mhm.
you know, and I think Roland Martin said, this is the only generation that has grown up
Rich said
and-
bandit.
and they really, they don't know what things were before technology.
Yeah.
You know, they really
No,
don't.
it's true.
They don't know what a typewriter is.
Right.
Right.
They
Or
don't
going
know
outside to play.
No,
It-
I
right.
mean, let me tell you, I had to
They
be
don't know what
my
outside
mother.
is.
I would try to act like I didn't hear my mother when she said, "Come in from outside. You've been
Yeah.
playing all day." I would act like they'd be like, "Can your mother call?" I'm like, "Shh." I would try to act like I didn't hear her because
Right.
I wanted to stay out. We were entertaining ourselves. We were
Yes.
having fun and natural fun. But now the kids don't want to go outside. They want to be on the devices.
Tablet,
You got a
iPad.
2-year-old that knows how to get into YouTube and get into stuff.
Asking
that they
you
don't
for
have
your
no business
phone.
doing. Can I?
Yep.
That's a
Well,
famous kid line.
Can I see you phone? Can I see you
Yeah,
phone?
yeah.
You phone. You
Yeah,
phone.
my grand be telling me that. You know what I tell them? Okay, when you get a job, you can see your own phone. You know what I mean? She don't like me, but because I keep it 100. But I was
She don't
going to
like
tell
you.
you that. I was going to tell you that when you
And then
mentioned
we're
about
gonna
wanting,
wind down in a minute.
okay, when you were saying that you wanted to go outside, and now the kids don't want to go outside. Well, guess what? Y'all ain't gonna like this, but a lot of kids don't want to go outside nowadays because you know why? Too many drive-bys are going on.
Yep.
Yeah, this is true.
That
Too
part.
much-
It's
too much
It's not
craziness
as safe
outside.
as it
That
was.
part.
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not
That
safe.
part.
Yeah.
That's
So
so
when you're in
true.
a big
My
city,
husband,
when
we
you're in
had
a big
candy
city,
lady.
yeah, when you're in a big city where
Or
y'all are,
icy lady.
you know what I mean? I mean, it's done got crazy now that every second it seems like somebody's getting shot
It's true.
or killed. You know, I
It's
mean, we
true.
got it down here in Tampa, but it's nothing like when I pick up
Girls
the
are getting
paper
picked up
or I
for sex
go
trafficking.
online and see what I
It's
see.
true. But this generation is over sexualized. So we wonder why people are cheating. You know,
Yeah.
everything is about sex. Go through your Instagram for
Yep.
15 minutes. Everything is about the BBLs and the booty shots and, you know, the selfies up here and all. Everything is sexualized. Nobody has clothes on, you know?
Yes.
So when you're looking at young boys and you're saying, don't look at a woman that way, they're confused because
Right,
they're
right.
just looking
Right in
at the
front of
woman and they're
Yep.
undressed. So it's like, don't sexualize women, but then women are sexualizing themselves. Don't look at men that way. And even men putting up thirst traps. What do you do in this generation when you got a man at home that might have a pop belly? You got a woman at home, got one tooth hanging on, like, and then you seeing all this. What do you do? You know, so I'm not saying that they don't have a choice or responsibility because that comes from within. So no matter what you got at home, if you're not a cheater, you're not a cheater. If
Right.
you say I'm not going to cheat, but I do believe in everybody's life, somebody has cheated in somebody's definition of cheating.
Yes.
So
Agreed.
where Duke
Agreed.
gave the definition of cheating, Leroy didn't see it as a definition of cheating. Jamie gave one, and then you have Donald and Duke. So if we look at everybody's definition of cheating, everybody cheated in some type of way to somebody else.
I agree.
Kendell, let me give you before you close it. I'll give you because I pulled these up. It gave 8 reasons why people cheat.
Oh, I have that right here. Let's look. Let me see.
It might be a different one. I'm not
Wait.
sure.
Is the first one anger? Second one self-esteem?
Mm-mm.
Okay, that's what I was going to end with. But I will say this, and I'll let you go ahead and do that. But the whole show is why people cheat, right? So I'm going to give these, you give those, and then we're going to get the final thoughts. But they say these are 8 too. So it's so funny that because me and Leroy do this all the time. We'll be having the same data. Like, how did we do that? But anger, it says why people are cheating. This is a poll. And this is from scientificamerica.com. Anger, self-esteem, lack of love, low commitment, need of variety, neglect, sexual desire, and situation or circumstance. All right, what you got, Leroy?
Mine, I don't even forgot where I pulled it up from, but it says lack of sexual satisfaction in your primary relationship, desire for additional sexual encounters, lack of emotional satisfaction in your primary relationship, wanting emotional validation from someone else, falling out of love with your partner, falling in love with someone new,
Mm-hmm.
you seek revenge in a relationship that's already suffering, and you're curious and want new experiences.
I think that's a perfect example. And I will tell you that emotional love is real. Like if you got somebody that's not emotionally available,
Yes.
and you need to connect mentally and their heart to heart, and they're not giving it, and then someone else says the littlest thing, you like, your antennas go up.
Yeah.
But then that all starts.
You're not mindful and aware.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Yes.
ever so conscious of it.
But it goes back to what KeKe says it is a choice. And then Leroy, what do you think about that list? And then I'm going to get everyone's final thoughts, and we're going to conclude.
Well, I think the list is accurate, and when it talks about why people cheat, that those are legitimate reasons. But I think it goes back to what I think all of us were saying in the beginning. It begins with communication. If you're communicating, if you're communicating that you're not being satisfied sexually, if you're communicating, you have a desire for other encounters. If you communicate the lack of emotional satisfaction, when you're communicating those things, if you're telling your spouse, hey, look, we need to have a conversation, something's not clicking with us. Can we fix this?
That communication, because you have to give the person opportunity to try.
Opportunity. Yeah.
If you don't communicate it, then how would they know?
Right.
Right. Yeah. So if they have the opportunity to fix it and they don't, you need to leave. My thing is leave before you cheat.
It's,
Yes.
I agree with all of that. But two, what we can't just throw out the door is people are who they are, right? All those things that Leroy was saying about, they are factual, they do, but people are sometimes they're going to do what they want to do,
Yes,
regardless of whatever person's doing what.
And
I've
also that payback
I've heard
cheating.
women say, I don't know why he cheated. I never closed my legs on him. I don't, I've heard, women then got up and said, you know what? I don't want to be a part of this anymore. But the guy was the perfect guy for her to be around. She just wanted something new, So sometimes.
What about on Baby Boy when he said that famous line, like I love you, like some men say, but.
Yeah. So people are going to be who they're going to be, and we always can go back to. You got to check out their history. Their history will tell you a whole lot, man. It'll tell you a whole lot of stuff. You check out their history, because
some people are different with certain people.
But see, what happens is if you don't check their history out, right?
I agree.
You find out, right? Now you find the history out afterwards, and you're like, oh, well, this is why everything is like it is,
It's true.
And I also say too,
just like when you buy a car, you want to check it out before you buy it, right?
Carfax.
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 Her facts, him facts.
Right.
well, I mean, but here's the thing. I like you said, Ron, I do believe if you check out people's history, you will see those common characteristics of who they are. It'll tell you who they are over that long period of time. You can't hide that. I tell people you can only hide who your true self is for a certain amount of time.
90 days, just like a job. That's why you're on probation for 90 days, because they know the real you.
Some of them are good.
That job, that 91st day.
You got some master manipulators that'll give you more than 90 days.
That's true.
Right,
Some slicksters.
That is true.
They hold on to the insurance policy.
Yep. But sure enough, people can only hold on to that facade for a certain period of time.
Unless you that
who they are.
Maya Angelou say.
When people show you
who they are, believe them.
Believe them the first time.
First time, yes. Don't be, hindsight.
So Donald, what are your final thoughts? And then I'm going to go around, and we definitely can do a part two. But I want to really ask this last question, then I'm gonna get yours. Who cheats more, men or women? Because that's a question people ask. That's a conversation people say. Women are slicker and smoother. Men just cheat, like they stumble on the cheating and say, I'm ready to get back to you.
Once upon a time, back in the old days, yes, men were the leaders in cheating. However, that tide has begun to change.
I agree.
Where women are more outgoing, women are more subject, women are more led, since Ron is doing this, are led to believe. So with that said, in our era where we are today, I believe that the women are starting to take charge of the cheating role. Not to say that the men are not, but the women are taking charge.
And I agree. I watched Divorce Court on there. So y'all, this new season of Divorce Court, I'm on there. I got a green shirt on. So you'll catch me because I'm behind people. They want you to give the reactions. I'm like,
oh, you gonna be one of Faith Evans' favorite fans.
Look,
I know you are.
They also say my name. I was one of the audience members of the day, and they was like, make sure you did. So I'm like, but anyway, so
I told you.
Right?
Can I get your autograph? A Star is Born.
But I love Divorce Court as a life coach and as a woman, and a woman of a certain age, because the dynamics of relationships are fascinating to me. When you see the dynamics and you get that inside look in people's relationship, but which with all three judges, because they're on the third one now, in the show, this is like the 23rd season. And they have not just married couples, but people who are thinking about getting married and people who are in relationships who may want to get married. So she does a little coaching as well But on the show, they always say, like these last probably 5 or 6 years, that the main reason people divorce and break up and cheat is because of social media. Because they're on Facebook trying to get that old thing back, or they're thinking about the shoulda, woulda, couldas, and then the new people, and then not resisting the people who jump in the DM. So what do y'all think about social media and cheating? And I swear this is the last, so we can get off of this. But I just wanted to bring up that element.
I think that
Quickly.
that we are in a era in society now where people they're too weak to be in a marriage. You know, they're emotionally weak because nobody's supposed to be able to pull you away from your wife.
Yes, exactly.
They're not supposed to be able to do it. They're not supposed to be able to pull you away from your husband. You know, it's not supposed to happen so easy.
Yes.
Like, how does that happen? It's not supposed to. Listen.
I think because people are not choosing as wisely as they should. And
like willpower.
They're just going to get married. And then that's
where we get down to the, like I said, when you get down to the fabric of, you know, who people are, that has to do with weakness. If you're on a computer, you can have social media, right? If you end up going outside of your house because of social media, you don't need to be married to nobody. And then the minute that somebody goes into your DMs as a married person, you're supposed to shut them down.
Yes, immediately.
You're supposed to be like, oh no, I'm I got this going on over here.
Yeah.
I don't think people they can't do that. They can't do it. Yeah. So because they can't do it, you almost,
because
it's like one foot is already out when you're playing like that.
But we're in this,
I have that coaching hat on, because now I want to ask that person, right?
Yeah.
When that person slid in and you didn't just block them, what's going on there?
Right.
You want to know that you still have it because you're not being affirmed.
It's that greediness too.
Or are you just like, I'm gonna get all I can get, cake and eat it too?
Right.
But it goes back to that validation too. It goes back to that validation because we're not validating ourselves. So the minute that somebody shows the little bit of attention, all systems go. But that's I
thought when you were married, you were off limits. That's what I thought.
Dude, you hit a nerve. I'm telling you, you hit a nerve. That's real.
Yeah,
it's real.
But it lets you know what we're dealing with out here. You know, it's you know, the wife at home, I mean, is doing what she's supposed to do, the best she can do. The husband's at home, is doing what he's supposed to do, the best they can do. Nobody's supposed to take you away from that. It's not supposed to be that easy, you know?
It's true.
They can put a thong on, they can open up the legs, they can show a breast. You're not supposed to walk off just by somebody showing you a breast. It's not, not supposed to be that easy.
But then what does commitment mean? Does it mean commitment means I'm committed until I don't feel like it anymore, until someone else better comes along?
Well, it all goes back to what we talk about when you're emotionally weak. You know, if you're emotionally weak, then you probably don't need to be married, because there's going to be some things in the marriage. Anybody who tell you who've been married, I heard an old guy tell me a long time, he probably told me this about what, I don't know, 10 years or so, 10, 12 years ago. He says, man, I fell in and out of love with my wife plenty of times, but he's still married. He didn't get up and run. He said he going because he knew what he was in it for.
Marriage has seasons, and people don't understand that.
Right.
Marriage has seasons. So just because you like the fall better than the summer, it doesn't mean, you know, and that's the thing. But I know,
okay, so friend, man.
We only been talking an hour and a little over an hour. It seems longer because we started a little late.
We've been talking 2 hours.
Yeah, we started at 8:25, I think.
Oh, because we were talking. Yeah, we were
talking, so it seemed like we were on the show.
We got 2 minutes. We got 10 minutes to be 2 hours.
Yeah. Because we were talking. Remember, we were on a while before we started. But go ahead, Leroy, and then I'm going to wrap up. because I appreciate your time. I really do.
Here's the thing, you know, and I tell people this, that I'm surrounded by, and I'm blessed to be surrounded by people who have been married 10 years, 15 years, 25 years, 30 years. My cousins, who I love so dearly, they've been married since I was a little boy. They've been married just about 42 years now. My church emphasizes marriage anniversaries and everything. The brothers that I'm associated with at my church are unashamedly married. And I'm talking 15, they done put some work in with those marriages and everything like that. And even, this was some years ago, I worked with a gentleman named Mr. Stan. I'll never forget him. He was an older Jewish white guy. And Mr. Stan was probably, at that time, he was probably in his mid 80s or so. And so we're standing around, we're having a conversation. And I asked him, I said, Mr. Stan, how long have you and your wife been married? He said 65 years.
Yeah, that was my aunt.
I was like, wow. I'm like, you've been married longer than my mother's been here. I said, so I know you have been through everything. You and your wife have seen everything.
Yeah.
There's nothing that y'all couldn't say that y'all have gone through. So when we have those examples that we can look at when it comes to marriage and not cheating, we say, okay, what is it that this is my question to them, and what do you do to sustain those marriages? Because there's days that I know, and I'm sure every single one of them will tell you, there's days when I don't like my husband. There's days when I don't like my wife.
Yeah. And some of those marriages have had cheating. I didn't get divorced because I cheated.
Yeah.
Because every relationship has a deal breaker. So your relationship, cheating might not be a deal. I see Davis and Ruby D. There was cheating in that relationship. They both admitted to that. But they stayed married all of those years. There are a lot of different relationships. It's about your relationship is what you define in that relationship. Absolutely. No one else can define, no one else can set the deal breakers. That's where conversation comes in. And I honestly believe that people in relationships and in marriages need to be around other people who are married or in relationships. I just really believe that, because you can feed off of each other, you can have support, and you can see how maybe they're handling it and they're doing it. And that doesn't mean that those people won't cheat, but you have to have some time. If you're not strong enough, Duke said, some of them are weak, but if you're not strong enough, then have people around you that will call you on your stuff and say, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, that's not
definitely
cool.
Need a part two, because there's another side to that too.
Woo!
On some people though, those long relationships, what they accepted that they try to tell you ride out and accept is not for you.
Right.
It's not for you.
Yeah.
So it's not always.
Yeah. The new generation has less tolerance.
Less tolerance. And not
conducive. You have people that are in abusive relationships, but because they hung out, will tell you stick it out and don't
stick it out, right?
Stay for the kids.
Absurd.
Yeah. Staying for the kids. I had a cousin, and she was married. She was married for years and years and years, and she said one thing she regrets is staying for the kids, because the kids are like, "Mommy, Daddy, leave."
Exactly. I had that happen, a close relationship. She stayed for the kids and it backfired. The kids are like, why did you put up with that?
Yeah.
Why did you stay?
And that's the fallacy of it. And Kendell, I know you got to go, but that's the fallacy of it. Folks that want to say they want to stay for the kids, but trust and believe those kids can tell when you as the parents don't have this loveless marriage.
Yeah,
loveless
because more is caught than taught.
You talked about examples. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, because you can tell a child anything. You can tell anybody anything, but more is caught than taught. They're going to see how you're moving in this, opposed to what you tell them. Yeah. So, all right. So these are the final words for real.
For real.
For real. We're definitely, are y'all down to do a part 2?
Hey, why not?
Okay. Let's do it.
And I'm going to come up with another subject with that. So the first half will conclude the cheating. And then I got another subject for y'all, because I like this panel. And I like to, have a little fun within there. but then also bring it back to the seriousness, because that's my personality. I'm a life coach, but I like to break it up. So it's not just, this way or one way. And could I do this show by myself? Could each one of you do this show by yourself? Absolutely. But it's beautiful when we can have different perspectives and outlooks, because we all have different experiences and we all bring something to this. So that's why I love doing these types of conversations. So y'all, you heard it. They're going to do a part 2 next week. Donald, what are your final words for this episode of cheating and why they do it?
I'm getting ready to get off this thing and go out there and be that player, girl.
Play N-A-S-.
And leave on that note, right?
But then you got to go and
you got to get the shirt next time. We got to have it across his shirt.
No, I mean, it's unfortunate that, cheating has such a presence that it does nowadays. And unfortunately, it's growing. And I can look at some of the TV shows that are presented, what is it called? Fish, I think it is. And then there's another one, Catfish. And then there's another, so it seems like nowadays they're making big money off of this cheating thing. But it's unfortunate because a lot of people are getting hurt in it. And not only that, you got people who are getting hurt, and it's also leading to, homicide. Suicide.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's unfortunate, and I can only hope and pray that it will cease, it will come to an end. But that's just my personal opinion. And lastly, Kendall, sincerely, thank you for letting me be on tonight to be as one of your panels, and I enjoyed being on with all you wonderful people. You all can look at my girl over here, KeKe. She KeKe. So you want you, but you all just can call me Grandpapa. I'll take on that role.
You're 64. Stop acting like you're 94.
Okay, well, you all can call me Daddy. Okay.
Daddy. Okay.
That's
No.
reserved.
Let us get some of them 20s. Get some of them $20 bills over here.
Right, you call him whatever he wants, right, Keith?
Hey,
but that's how people get caught up.
Yeah.
See?
He got them 20s, so I'm gonna go. Let me just jump in his DM, see what he's working with.
Much respect to you all, though, and just thank you again, Kendall. Much respect to you all. Keep your head up, and much love as we move forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And of course, this is, it wouldn't be the same without you. This is a great group. So thank you for answering the call. I appreciate you, Donald. Thank you. All right, Mr. Duke.
Hey, to the beautiful queens, KeKe and Jamie and Kendell, I want to thank you ladies for being a part of it. Very knowledgeable. Everybody here brought some stuff to the table. I learned more than I knew yesterday, which is always great. Leroy and Donald, thank you. It's always a blessing. I look forward to possibly doing this again. I think that just off our personal experiences alone, it's able to help people, to go through or just be a sort of a stage presence for, just for learning. And, like I said before, Kendell, I appreciate it. And I just look forward to being part of the next panel.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you're here. And I'm so glad you answered the call. And I'm so glad the guy said, get Duke.
I'm here.
Duke has something to say. We were talking about it offline with KeKe, Jamie, and myself about Duke and him being a good guy. And, sometimes even a good guy in a relationship who is not cheating or not doing certain things, the woman can still cheat on you, even if you crossing the T's and dotting the I's. And next week, we're going to talk about that. Like, a lot of good dudes are getting cheated on. Oftentimes you hear the women being cheated on by men, but a lot of women are doing the cheating. And we're going to talk about that next week. All right, Leroy. Thank you.
Now that's a good topic there, because that's something that does not get talked about.
Right.
And Kendell, you asked the question about, do men cheat more than women? To me, it's not about who cheats more, because they're both cheating. I don't care who does it more, they're both cheating. Men cheat and women cheat. And the question, the question that we dealt with tonight was, why are people cheating, as opposed to being what I call grown men and grown women, not males and not females. Grown men don't cheat. Grown women don't cheat. They have conversation. They communicate with that significant, with that other, so that, hey, we can be grown. We can be adults about it to say, hey, you know what? This didn't work. It's not working. It's just not working. So, Kendell,
use your words.
You know how it goes. This is how we do this. This has been a great conversation. This panel is excellent. Again, you done brought an excellent panel that is unashamedly transparent, and that is phenomenal, because the only way that we get better is by having these conversations.
Yeah.
And by people understanding these things, and I'm better after this conversation than I was before the conversation, and that's the goal of what everybody should hopefully got from this, is that they're better after they've seen this conversation than they were before this conversation. So this content is as I've been saying, it's rich. It's rich. This is rich conversation right here. So absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you. And of course, I'm not going to do a panel without my brother, Leroy McKenzie Jr. And we are friends. Leroy is like my brother. We are friends. We often finish each other's sentences when we're doing shows. But I love Leroy because Leroy is unapologetically him. And you see where everybody was going right, he's going to go left, and he's going to stand in that conviction. And I can always respect somebody like that. So thank you, Leroy. All right, KeKe, your final thoughts, my dear. And she's the baby of the bunch. You heard her say she was born in 1990. I was like, hey, I was out of high school. Jeez.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so
but I wanted to have the contrast.
KeKe, I got nieces older than you.
Okay. But I wanted to have Donald and his wisdom at 64, and then KeKe.
I appreciate that.
She's very, I want to say, KeKe, for a young woman, you're very knowledgeable and you're always on point. Awesome. And I appreciate that about you. Your intelligence is unmatched in many of these conversations. And I'm glad that we had this conversation with you here.
I appreciate it. I'm glad to be a part. I really appreciate everyone's transparency, especially Jamie's. Like, thank you for sharing your story. Yeah. That everyone buys your book. I think will help.
Hold that book up, Jamie.
So that's why I saved her for last. I got a system. Okay, that's why I saved her for last. I got you, girl. I got you.
Yes. So I think your transparency was great, because I haven't heard a perspective. Well, I haven't heard a story about a woman, being for the lack of better words, the offender. So thank you for sharing. I'm sure will help many women and cause them to reflect on, things that they've done, what they could have done better, and the root of everything. So I believe, cheating is a choice. You don't have to cheat. You don't have to fall prey to being a cheater. But of course we have societal influences and things on TV that doesn't help the dynamics. And it seems normal, especially being a writer and, doing plays and stuff like that. That's all you really see on TV. Like, that's the main storyline. He cheated, she cheated, stuff like that. So it's basically being thrown at you, but you don't have to choose it. You don't have to choose to cheat, and get healing, and find out why you're cheating.
Yeah, that part. Find out why. Find out the root. Like I said, this is the root. These are branches, why we do what we do and the things that we do, but this is the root. And if the root is not solidly firm in the ground, then the branches are going to take form, and they're going to be acting for you, because you got to figure out what's going on with the root.
Hey, there's people out here that they're not changing. They'll just keep getting in the same stuff till they die.
Yep. Facts.
That's true.
Facts. All right. Last but not least, the brand new author, her first book. She bears her soul, and she talks about her life. So if you want to hear more of her story. We're going to get her to share a little bit more next week on the part 2. But Jamie.
Yes.
I'm so happy. She was on, I met Jamie on social media. So social media does good. I met her on social media. And I have a series called the Interview Series, where we talk about what's going on here. And we talk about how you were able to grow and to heal. And we talk about the inner. So I had Jamie on that. So that's here on this platform. So check out that and you'll see more of Jamie on that and her healing process and her growth process. And she is a happiness coach and she's helping people get their happy back. All right, Jamie. So thank you so much. Your final takes and show your book.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate everyone on the panel and the input, the growth. I truly believe we grow better together. That's one of my taglines. I stand by it. We do grow better. And I appreciate you, Kendell, for the platform of getting the different perspectives and stuff, because that is how we grow and learn, with not being so narrow-minded, if you will. So I will hold up the book. It is my story and also my coaching perspective. So there's some lifestyle success tips, I call them, and how I got to grow. I always have to come up with something to leave you with. And I want to say, one, based on my personal experience, yes, I was younger. So that's not an excuse, but it's something to take into account. I just want to speak to that younger generation that is maybe jumping into marriage and is making these lifelong decisions, especially my ladies, because that's my audience. That's my soulmate clients, right? Love yourself first. Learn to love yourself. Learn to get to know yourself. And your brain, that's a scientific fact, right? Our brains don't stop developing until 25. So give yourself that opportunity to learn, to grow, and get to know yourself. Get to know what you like, and then pay attention to the wise counsel. Well, I went to premarital counseling. We took a personality test. The one flag that came back was what we needed. I was able to give an 8 and I wanted an 8. He was able to give a 3 and wanted an 8.
That's the capacity.
So I could satisfy his 8, but that was a gap. And our pastor talked, and of course he's like, you're going one of two things, or both. You're going to have an extramarital affair. So be mindful. And I'm like, I'm not going to, like, how is the pastor going to tell me? Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I would never do that, right? Pride, because the reality is I'm just as human as the next person, and you can, and I did. And 2, you'll have children to fill the void that your husband isn't giving you. Because when I got married, I did not want kids. He was like, well, that might change because of this attention thing, right? So be mindful of the wise counsel, right? Don't think more highly of yourself than you ought. And to thy own self be true. So learn to know yourself so that you can communicate your needs and you can acknowledge the hurt, the healing that needs to take place. So I hope that helps someone.
The name of the book, Jamie, the name.
My Piece of Happy. You'll get more out of it. PEACE. I know you probably can't see it on here. This is my sample copy, but My Piece of Happy. And it'll be out October 13th. So
love it. Love it. Definitely have to have you back to talk about that when that comes out. But I thank you all. You know, I love, as I said in the beginning, I love having these conversations because I'm all about healing, and honesty helps heal. I like to have honest conversation. And I was thinking about me. I've definitely emotionally cheated and not even thinking that I'm cheating. You know what I'm saying? I've definitely done that. You know, so that's why I said a place in our time. If we think about our lives and think about different definitions of cheating, then I could say that all of us probably have cheated in someone's eyes or someone's definition. But when you're in a relationship, you define the definition. Whether, like Duke says, you can't have female friends or male friends, whether Leroy says my best friend is a woman, whether Donald says, yes, I'm a reformed cheater, but I have my woman with her hand on hip right now and I'm bringing her roses and flowers all the time. I can be reformed. Just because I cheated doesn't make me a cheater. And now, because of that experience, makes me the man that I am now. And like KeKe says, I want to be married. You know, I'm not married now, but I'm listening, I'm learning, and I'm seeing the different perspective. Like Jamie said, I was a cheater. I thought that I would never cheat, but I did. Leroy, you know, has his woman in Africa, but he's staying faithful and true to her. So that debunks that myth it out of sight, out of mind. He's like, nope, I'm still going to be faithful to her. So whatever your view is, this is the panel. This is the world. This is what we have here. Everybody's view, someone else can see it and recognize it in themselves. So that's why it's important to have conversations and not just to hear your own voice. You want to hear someone else's to give you a different perspective. And you know my saying that I coined, it's never too late to remix your life. So at any stage, age, and phase in life, you can remix your life. So if you were a cheater, but you don't want to do it anymore, like KeKe said, it's a choice. So make the right choice that's right for you and define your relationship. And as Duke said, what did he say, y'all? Y'all remember what he said? Partner what?
Oh,
Well, he said a lot.
Partner. What did you say? And I liked it too. I need to write it down.
What you say, Duke?
Partner, I don't know. What did I say?
You
I said
forgot.
a whole bunch of stuff. I was going on and on.
He was dropping them jewels.
Yes, the partner. I mean,
standards. He said the standards, partners.
Yes, partner
Partner
standards.
So you can have a
Yes.
partner standard in your relationship. And like Will and Jada, we talked about, people might disagree with what they're doing, but what works for them, works for them. What works for you, works for you. Just learn to be truthful. Jamie said, to thyself, be true and stand in your truth and walk in your truth. And if you're a growth in process, then continue to do that. That's what this show is about. This is Kendell Lenice Live, the panel discussion, season 2. We'll see you next week for part 2. Bye, y'all. Thank you for watching. Leroy, help me out. What do I want the people to do?
Y'all better do it. This ain't Thursday, but y'all still better do it. Like, subscribe, share. Throw a comment in there too. We want to know what y'all think about tonight. Talk about this cheating thing that's going on. What y'all think about it? Go on.
Yes,
go on.
everybody is commenting. We had a lot of viewers. Even though we were on here almost 2 hours, we had people staying with us the entire 2 hours. So that means we weren't boring them, y'all.
Yeah, not at all. Good. Only gets better.
Yes, but thank you everybody for
See you,
watching.
ladies.
Next
Bye,
Tuesday,
fellas.
8
Thanks,
p.m.
guys.
We're gonna be back. God bless y'all.
All right.
Thank
Later.
you, y'all.
Deuces.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye, Donald. Bye, Duke. Bye, Leroy. KeKe.
See you.
Jamie.
Later.